Sports Hub. Leslie Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics are now in second place in the Eastern Conference after their 8th win in 9 games last night, 115-101 over Chicago at TD Garden. Celtics didn't have a lot of energy 48 hours after a long West Coast road trip, but Anthony Simon scored 27 points to bail them out.
Yeah, I think we kind of understood coming into the game, like how tough of a game it was going to be mentally and physically. Just coming off a long road trip, coming from the West Coast, practically be on a plane all day. And we knew that, it was a possibility that, we might struggle a little bit offensively, but I think defensively, through most of the first half, I think we played great.
Peyton Pritchard added 21 points. Celtics continue this 4-game homestand against Denver tomorrow night. In other NBA news, All-Star guard Trae Young is now reportedly working with Atlanta to facilitate a trade to another team. The Washington Wizards are apparently the early frontrunner. As for the Bruins, they wrap up their 5-game West Coast road trip in Seattle late tonight. The Bees have 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 overtime loss on the trip so far. Ryan Johnson and Bob Beers have the pregame at 9:30 and the face-off at 10 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Marco Sturm told the media yesterday Hampus Lindholm has an unspecified injury and will not only miss tonight's game, is going to be out for a little bit. All Sturm would add that it's not a day-to-day problem. And in NFL news, make it 5 head coaching openings around the league after the Raiders fired Pete Carroll and Arizona fired Jonathan Gannon yesterday. Getting back to the Raiders, the team announced yesterday GM John Spytek and Tom Brady will work closely together to find a new head coach. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Revise. Feeling drafts in your house and struggling to stay warm this winter? Call Revise, a Mass Save partner. They offer no-cost energy assessments and 7,500% off. That's what it says here. 75,100% off insulation. I'm going to say that's just 100% insulation. Call 1-800-885-SAVE or visit callrevise.com today. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Now the Patriots with their Mojo rising. Throws to the near side. The catch is made by Hunter Henry.
The NFL playoffs return to Foxborough. The New England Patriots take on the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday night at 8. And from the first snap to the final play, you'll hear it all right here.
Unbelievable.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Ultimately is what this job is all about, thinking.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube live, and then it's up there forever, up there on YouTube if you subscribe to 98.5thesportshub.com. A big show on the way today. A lot of Patriots with Christopher Price and Andrew Callahan. I woke up, I knew it was going to happen. I woke up this morning and my dog had diarrhea all over the crate, so I got to do that this morning. So that's going to be with me forever. I'm just going to sit there and it's going to just be in my head. I hate it so much. I used to not even be able to pick up dog because I don't know. There's nothing sexual about it when it's a dog. So that's
you used to not be able to pick up just the solid dog poop on walks,
right? Like when I never walked when I was married. I didn't walk. I wasn't the one who walked the dog generally. And when I did, I was esoteric was all over. In fact, I don't know if I've ever said in reality, like I've said stuff on air that got me in trouble, but no one ever has come up to me and gone like, "Oh boy, I can't believe you said that about Bill Walton," or "Oh boy, I can't believe you said that about Tim Tebow." It was more just like media. The thing about not picking up the dog crap was something that like neighbors talked to me about. Like they were like, "You're just kidding about that," because I just moved into my new place and it was before I got it right when I got my dog I have now. My neighbors were they're very nice and they said in a very nice way. They were like, "Were you joking about not picking up the dog crap?" And so with this dog, I do. But I've told you the problem with the phantom craps is that this dog will crap 3 times. By the third time, I mean, what am I? I've even brought in a third party to go. There's nothing I can do here, right? And they're like, yes. And then there'll be phantom ones where nothing comes out, but I'll get evil stares.
Right. Yeah, that happens to me too. The dog squats, nothing comes out, and then you just keep walking. And I'm looking at cars going by. I'm, checking to see if there's people in the windows of the houses that were near, but. Yeah, there's nothing to pick up there.
I do the same thing. I keep a lookout because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to say you find it.
I was probably, I would say 6-7 years into dog ownership with my first dog before I understood the trick of putting your hand in the bag, picking it up, and then turning the bag inside out.
Oh, it took you that long?
Well, I mean, I was like 25 maybe when I got my first dog and had never had to pick up dog crap by hand before in my life.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, we had a yard. The dog would just go crap in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
You go out and, shovel it and, pick it up once a week maybe. And then after that, like all through college, didn't have a dog. I'm out on my own. I get a dog. So I would there were 2 things. Number one, I would have a bag and I would try and scoot it along the ground to try and pick it up because I was so stupid. I didn't understand this. And then for a while I was buying these bags that had a wire frame inside of it. They were expensive too, and I was making no money. But I would buy these bags that would open up and it would hold the bag open and you would kind of scoot along the ground. It worked as its own little dustpan. To get the back. And finally, I saw somebody either in person or on TV or something. I said, "Oh, that's really smart," and that's finally how I learned how to pick up dog poop. But it was, like I said, years into owning a dog before I figured out how to do that.
Well, yesterday we later in the show, Nick had finally reciprocated our Christmas gifts. And he had given John a cookbook, which I suppose is kind of funny, or a menu, like a thing to write his own recipes in, because he's such a foodie.
Yeah.
And then he gave Hardy this something like these keys, whatever, that were kind of a joke. But then he gave him this. Hardy had mentioned in passing one time the best promotional thing I've ever seen for any band was this Tenacious D golf towel thing. It's like a blank rag. It's like a joke thing. And Nick went on eBay and found it and bought it. This wasn't an on the air conversation. I didn't know Hardy this thing. It was obviously a conversation he'd had with Nick at one point. So he did this very thoughtful thing. And then Nick gave me some dumb tool that I'm never going to use in a Bible. The joke being that I had gone to church a couple times before Christmas. And I said, okay, well, this is stupid because now I don't want to take this home. I don't have any use for it, and then I can't throw it away because of mojo and the spirits that would. But it's pretty defamatory. So I left it in studio, and John, he was complaining today that I left it in studio.
He was incredulous that you had not brought the Bible home.
Which means what? It means that he knows that he made a mistake.
Yeah,
because who would have noticed, and who would have felt the need to say anything? He knows he made a mistake.
Yeah, I brought the recipe book home. My wife got a good laugh out of that.
Yeah, so you got a good laugh. There's nothing. Yeah. There's not even a laugh here.
I think I texted 4 different people that would appreciate the gift that I got from Nick, and I was sharing it and celebrating it, and it got shared and celebrated. Just spider webbed out. The thoughtfulness of that gift. And as somebody put it, it's the type of gift that a guy would give to a girl who's trying to better.
That's what I said. Not only trying to better, but wants to get very serious with. And speaking from experience, sometimes you can overgift and create a situation that you are that you didn't want.
Yeah,
that's happened to me.
Yeah,
but normally that's
uncomfortable real
monetary.
fast.
That's
Yeah.
like because it was, and I even asked Nick. I'm like, Nick, you didn't spend too much on this, and he was like, No, it was. He told me how much it cost. It's the thought,
right,
and the paying attention, and just. It's one of those gifts. If I had gotten it, a similar situation, for my wife, something that required that much thought and effort and remembering, I would have been so proud of myself, and she would have loved it so much. So what you said, Fred, makes a lot of sense. Just trying to, really showing someone that you not only care for them, but you love them, and I felt love from that gift.
Because like a monetary thing, you could be like, all right, here is. Say jewelry, this shows that I'm a man of great means. This means this could maybe almost be transactional sex. But when you like, it's like that episode. I don't like Friends, but there's the episode where Joey's dating the hot brunette girl, and Chandler gives her this like Brer Rabbit like first edition book because he remembers her saying that was her favorite book as a little girl, and she like falls in love with him. And it creates all this kind of mess with Joey because Joey's the ladies' man, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Without the crippling pill addiction that it blows up his colon. So the Nick, did this incredible gift to you and then gave John, and listen, you and I didn't get John anything. So just the idea that John got something, but then to turn around and put no thought into my gifts, and then to mention it today because I didn't take it home. Like, what am I going to do with this? What am I seriously? What am I going to do with this?
Improve your apartment by having a.
I don't have an apartment. I have a condominium, 3,500 square foot condominium. Don't put me in that box.
I'm so sorry.
He's in the middle floor of a 3-family.
Yeah, you got to stop this notion that just because you get divorced, you were somehow put into this. There's this trope that you're put into some like male only loser apartment complex. That's not the case. Mm-hmm. My new place was more than my old place. That was a big point of contention.
My problem.
Yes,
my fault.
Well, I think you're perpetrating.
Well, maybe I'm just projecting from my time.
You're perpetrating a myth, and I don't care for that.
Yes.
But yeah. So like, what am I going to do with it? So I was even Beetle, who I usually has no time to talk. He wants to talk to Hardy.
Yes.
He
very true.
He had something to say about it. I'm like, he goes, yeah, I don't know what you can. He's like, you can't throw it away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know I can't. So maybe like this will be like an old hotel room. I'll just leave it out until finally someone who's desperate for some sort of meeting picks it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's available for anyone.
You'll come in and it won't be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Dundaro one day when he's filling in will be feeling low and maybe he'll pick it up.
Spit take during Revelations.
I carry a book in the car in case I'm ever stuck somewhere, and I've got some real time to kill, and that book has been sitting there for a couple of years probably now. It's down like in the little holder on the driver's side door, the one where you're supposed to put, I don't know what goes down there. That's where things go to be lost forever. And invariably, if I have time to kill while I'm in the car, I just end up looking at my phone. But Fred, maybe you put the Bible in the car, and if you ever find yourself with a few quiet moments to kill, maybe just open up to a page.
Yeah, I go out
Joshua,
with a girl,
Ruth.
and I pick her up, and then she reaches. For some reason, I'm like, can you get this something out of the glove compartment? And she reaches in there, and there's a Bible sitting there.
Yeah,
really set a tone of seduction. Like, look what I carry around with me, like Kevin Durant when he was a rookie.
Oh, I have a parking pass. Could you get it out of the glove? It's in that book. I think it's between 1 Kings and 2 Kings. Yeah, just slide that out.
Maybe we could just do a segment every day where I just put my finger on a phrase and we can say how that incorporates with the show.
See, I was thinking a minute ago, like maybe a reading each day. That's so much better.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's going to get offended.
No.
You can't go wrong doing something comedically based when it comes to religion or the Bible.
Right.
No one's going to be upset by it.
Yeah, maybe if I ever switch jobs, like to start off, I'll start like Evanescence or Creed. I'll start as a Christian act.
Yeah.
And I'll just point to things at the Bible. And then when I build that Christian community, then I'll completely neglect them and say that I was never a Christian artist. That's what I'll do. Seems like a good way
move. The old Switchfoot.
Yeah, we did a Switchfoot. So Switchfoot was an alternative band that were the same thing. Back in the 2000s, late 90s, say early 2000s, because I was on the radio late 90s. Early 2000s, a good way of easy money was because there were this big community of people that would only buy Christian-related materials. Like it's not so much that way anymore, I don't think. But there was like a whole industry. Like people would only buy music for their kids at like Christian stores and stuff. So bands like Switchfoot, this band Switchfoot, would start off that way, and immediately like it's like 100,000 in sales because you've immediately just appealed to this audience just by nature of being Christian. But then if you could cross over a little bit, you'd completely turn your back on it. So I used to work with a kid that was, or older than me, but a guy that produced my show in Atlanta that was super into the Bible. So when we interviewed Switchfoot, we had him quiz them on the Bible, and they did not care for that. They did not like that.
No.
And but the thing is that I was a stickler. Is that if you were going to start out this way, I'm not allowing you to pivot that easily. It's like you did a money grab, and now you're trying to, now that you've got your feet planted a little bit, and they'll go back. I guarantee you Switchfoot went back. That if there's still a band that they're appealing to a based Christian audience.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, American Idol is now pivoted to Christian music. That they're featuring a lot of artists that are
I like that.
Sacred music.
It's just so funny to me,
False idol.
The idea of Christian music. Like, that any topic that's not directly referencing Jesus is somehow, in any way, shape, or form, like, not worth putting thought into. Like, every thought, every artistic expression has to be through that lens.
Yes, praise him.
Right. In everything, in every single thing you do.
Generally, that's right.
Like expressing any basic human emotion without invoking the name of Christ is somehow just completely not worthwhile. That it doesn't exist. It makes you a heathen.
Mm-hmm.
Or perhaps it's just a way to make money, which is much more likely. Because if you talk to someone who was just constantly in every sentence referencing the Bible, you would be like, well, this is an OCD.
Well, it's like that guy who came and gave the talk at my high school, not middle school, high school. We had the high school assembly where the guy came in and told us about the dangers of rock and roll. And one of the things he referenced was the George Harrison song, My Sweet Lord.
Okay.
Because at the end, they start doing the Hare Krishna rant.
Right.
And it's Hare Krishna. He
said,
that
rant.
Yeah, the mantra.
Yes.
He goes
Might
on.
as well be a rant according to them.
Yeah, it sounds like there's no melody. He's just screaming in the background about the Hare Krishnas, but he's doing the Hare Krishna. And the guy said, "This is not Christianity. This is the opposite of Christianity. In other words, anti-Christianity. In other words, the Antichrist." So this is the Antichrist seeping through at the end of this George Harrison song.
Which that very small Vedic community that exists of multi-millions of people I could see them all being destined for eternal damnation. And also that religion is thousands and thousands of years older than Christianity might be a little...
Lies. Lies. Listen to you, white devil.
There's a little bit of parallel between the two, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a little bit of a parallel. Maybe not so much different, but who knows? What do I know? I'm not a theologian. But I had an experience.
You don't know him. That's obviously
obvious. But I'm the one. But listen, I'm the one holding the Bible. But I'll tell you this: is that one time, and then I will leave you with this. When I was in Atlanta, my best friend and his girlfriend and I went out with my soon-to-be wife, and
your wife and a friend.
And my best friend's girlfriend at the time brought her friend and her new boyfriend.
Nice.
And we're going to get married because they were Christian and been dating for a day. So
they were thinking about kissing.
And yeah, exactly. And so he only non-biblical sex. Everything else was on the table.
Soaking?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not Jewish, so there's no sheet.
Okay.
So so he goes, hey, he goes, so you guys, I think I was engaged or something like that. No, I wasn't engaged. We were just dating. And he goes, and he's like babbling about God. He was obviously going through something and had pivoted very heavily into Christianity. I can't imagine if he's still alive, there had to have been major life changes. He was obviously going through something terrible. And he's like babbling and he like goes like and she's like, oh, I'm Jewish, and he goes, oh, and you're dating, and she goes, yeah, and he goes, oh yeah, well this is quote, oh, you'll all be in eternal hell, just so you know.
Oh,
and this was over lunch.
This was over sandwiches.
I'm sure that went on.
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend,
and my best friend's girlfriend at that time did not like me, as is not uncommon, and even she, I was like, oh, she's gonna love this, and she was it was so weird that she was even like, oh, this seems a little over the top.
Right. He could have taken the high road when your ex-wife said that she were Jewish. He could have said, oh, well, so was JC. You're in good company.
Yeah. You carpenter?
Yeah.
You could have said that. I've thought about that over. I think about that every Christmas.
Married under a chuppah?
Hoopah. As opposed to a fupa, which is where my next marriage will take place when I seal the deal. When I consummate the marriage,
that's not hot dogging. What is that?
I was just
that's lifting. That's hauling. That's what you're lifting the hoopah.
That's just bun warming.
That's fooping. That's fooping.
Oh.
Okay. So there you go. All right. There you have it. There's your biblical lesson for the morning.
Thank God. See, the Bible, it spurns so many great ideas. Look at you.
Absolutely. I thought, because I had my kids and my ex-wife happened to be in town, so for my mother, we went to church on Christmas Eve, which was a whole situation. And so every time that like 2 or 3 times that my ex-wife has been there, I always think of that kid. You're going to go into eternal hell. It's like, oh, all right, well.
And you all had a nice hour-long lunch right after that, I'm sure. It was great. It didn't ruin things at all.
I don't remember what happened. I probably just got drunk and enjoyed myself. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. The Boston Celtics played last night, so I suppose we can go over that. We will be back in just a moment.
Did you catch the game last night?
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what happened last evening?
Celtics were home to take on the Chicago Bulls, and they jumped out to an early lead.
Jaylen Brown back in the game after quick early substitution. Cross court for Derek White. Jordan Walls drives, crazy scoop, and that's the shot that goes in. Falling away to his right. He scooped it with his right hand off the glass, and he got the bounce.
That is crazy. So they were getting it done inside, but then it was the three-point shooting from practically everyone last night.
But the Celtics should have taken a 20-point halftime lead. Pritchard going to try. Left-hand dribble, runs back behind the line, forces a three, and he hits it. Maybe the toughest shot the Celtics have had the entire half. Pritchard, as he is wont to do, beats the buzzer with a three, and the Celtics will take a 21-point lead into the halftime locker room.
21 points at the half. The Bulls last night never really threatening until the end. But then it was Simons coming through with big threes down the stretch, and he's not the only one.
Boston by 13, 3:35 to go. Vucevic launches a three, got another one. Kata's got to get closer here. This is the problem that Vucevic creates.
Yes.
That was...
Sorry. That was Vucevic.
Yeah.
We need Kata to come through at the end here. Is he going to hit a three, or is he going to do something even more special?
Jaylen Brown, bounce pass. Kata rower to the basket, elevates, finger roll, scoops it up and in, scored, and the foul, and that should do it.
Wow. What a move then by the big fella.
Yeah.
Kind of showed him the basketball and then just kind of went away, hit him with the body count, that one, and one.
Yeah, there you go. So Kata coming up with a big and one at the end as the Celtics would go on to secure their victory, 115 to 101. Last night, your leading scorers for the Celtics, Jaylen Brown with 35, Derek White with 37, and then Kata coming through with 25 points, Sam Hauser 21.
You sure that was last night? I think you might be looking at minutes.
Hauser had 19.
Excuse me, yeah, I am looking
points.
at points. Yeah, that would be something else, wouldn't it? That'd be like 200 points.
Yeah.
Yes, 27 points last night for hold on, Anthony Simons.
Simons
27 points last night. 21 for Peyton Pritchard last night.
Simons not only scored 27 points, all of them came in the second half.
How about that?
It was, Brown and White were both terrible. They shot a combined 9 of 31 from the field. Brown especially.
Brown was
bad.
6 of 24 last night.
Yeah.
And as you said, 1 of 6 from three-point territory. But the three-pointers going down for Pritchard, along with his buzzer beater at the half, they're going up 21. And to think that they only really got threatened when the Bulls got within 16. Did they get to 12 at some point?
They got it under
John?
10. They got it under 10 in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
They got it under, but
for a minute.
The Celtics had a lead of at least 17 points in every quarter. They didn't look good at all coming off a long West Coast road trip. Missoula said it afterwards. They didn't look good, but at least they played hard. And that's the thing. Simon saved them last night because both Brown and White were not good. But 8 of 9, they're in second place in the Eastern Conference. They're 23-12. They're back at home. This is far beyond what anyone could have expected from this team. They're playing really, really well.
And last night, was it the cold shooting from Chicago, or was it what Joe Mazzulla said afterward?
Our defense kept us in it. Our offensive rebounding kept us in it. And as long as we can continue those margins, those are the things that allow you to play the way that you need to play when you're not at your best from a shooting standpoint.
So offensively, he admits that not everybody was cooking last night, but he said the defense was good in Chicago. From what I saw of the game, Chicago was just missing a lot of shots they should.
In the first half, they missed a ton. In the second half, they made like 6 or 7 threes in a row to get themselves back in the game in the fourth quarter. But the offensive rebounding you were talking about, they had, I think, 12 or 13 offensive rebounds in the first half. And we were saying White and Brown missed a lot of shots, a lot of second chance points after that. So it was good to see, on a night where Jaylen Brown, who scored 50 in the final game of the road trip over the weekend, did not play well. They still won, and they won pretty easily.
Celtics now 23-12, and you said it a second ago, John. No one expected them to be this good. Did you have any belief, though, that Jaylen Brown would be able to fill in and take over, but the Celtics will be able to get wins like this, even against a Bulls team, a mediocre at best Bulls team. They'd be able to get wins like this when Jaylen Brown does not have a good night.
No, just take a snapshot of the roster. No one would have figured that they would have been able to create a workaround when Jaylen Brown didn't play well. And the other thing is Jaylen Brown has proven himself to be, at the very least, an adequate number one. The last month, he's been unbelievable. I mean, he scored 30 points in 9 straight games. That tied a franchise record. He had 50 the other night. He's been phenomenal as a leader for this team.
Well, Leroy said that he thinks he's better than Doncic over the weekend. So you got that going for you.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm ready to go. I don't know if I'm ready to go there.
Because of the defensive aspect, he said.
Yes, he is a far better defensive player than Doncic, one of the better defensive players in the league. Yes.
Well, you're starting a team tomorrow. You can have Jaylen Brown or Luka Doncic. Where are you going?
Still going with Luka.
I think I'm going with
Still going with Luka at this point.
Well, I'll tell you, J.J. Redick's very upset at that Laker team. So
yeah, they're not playing well at all. Who would have figured? LeBron James at the age of 41, you have Doncic and nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, you have Austin Reeves, who has his own brand of a Chinese shoe company.
Right. Reeves got hurt. He's out now. So you're really without much help for those guys at this point.
Another NBA game to discuss from last night. Out in California, as the Clippers were hosting the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr ejected in this game, and none other than Calvin Broadus happened to be in the booth at the time. Do you know who that is, John?
Yes, I do.
It's Snoop Doggy Dogg.
That is Snoop Doggy Dogg, who is commentating when Steve Kerr was ejected.
Oh, look at Steve Kerr. He's all the way out here.
Uh-oh, Steve, don't get thrown out. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Back him up. Back him up, GP. Back him up. Steve ready to fire on him.
He's already gone.
Steve banging Inglewood right now. Inglewood. Get him, Steve. You in Inglewood, Steve. The Arizona Wildcat that came out and look at him. Look at him. That's that Arizona Wildcat.
Somebody hold me. Hold me back. Get my purse. Hold me back.
Man was on trial for murder.
Just once. Oh, you get called to court on one murder rap, and that's the first thing you jump to.
I always think it's funny that like some people will never have careers again. Everyone loves Snoop Dogg, but no one will have careers again. But Snoop, he's able to kind of just skirt by those murder charges. Now he obviously wasn't convicted, so good for him. But
yeah,
it is funny who we continue to punish and who's allowed to just be like the family guy. Sure.
It's funny. Snoop has called NHL games. He's been on Family Feud with his family. It is quite amazing the turnaround. Doing everything that he probably would have laughed at in his 20s. It's very interesting how he's come this direction. I never would have predicted it.
Let's jump over to the Patriots here. Mike Vrabel speaking about their opponent coming up Sunday night, prime time. Fred Toucher, the only person excited for this prime time matchup. Everyone else.
Zolak doesn't mind.
He likes the fact that they're getting prime time respect.
Yeah, it feels like a big game. It feels like the biggest game of the weekend.
Right.
And I think that's of some value.
Yeah, well, I don't need the clock to tell me if it's a big game or not. They could play it at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and I would still recognize. See, it's the playoffs, Fred, and they're single elimination playoffs. So I understand the gravity and the seriousness without having to sit down in front of the TV set at 8 o'clock to hammer the point home. Mike Vrabel, what do you got on the Chargers?
They play great defense. They're very sound. They're good tacklers. They're physical. They get off the field on third down. They're good in the red zone. They run the football. It's a physical football team. They possess the football. They lead the NFL in time of possession. They have very good quarterback play. They're well coached. They play with technique and fundamentals.
Sounds like the Pats are going to lose.
Well, you set the bar low.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what he's doing. It's a trap. What about the players who are injured right now, Mike? Are they going to be able to play on Sunday?
Yeah, it's probably too early to tell. Alex Austin will continue to practice and his return to play, and we'll evaluate that. and then see where the other guys are, see where Spillane and Landry and Tonga are, and Jared as well.
Spillane, very important to get Spillane back.
They couldn't win without him.
Very, very important to get Spillane.
They could not win without him. You saw after they gave up that 21-point lead, the season was over.
That's right. Those appearances against the Jets and Dolphins without Spillane, they really struggled.
I mean, they couldn't They couldn't stop the run.
Thank you. You see it. You don't just look at the final score, John. You understand that those games were tough.
Yep.
That was the time of pushback. Was when it's like, look at what's going on with the Chargers. They're missing like 2 All-Pro tackles.
Yeah.
They're down to like their 5th offensive lineman in some positions, and they're like, Spillane, man. Like, he's a tackling machine, the street free agent that we picked up.
Remember we said Spillane was probably, at best, the 4th most important person on defense, and Zolak called up incredulous and started screaming?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Wallach? Well, let's see. Barmore, Gonzalez, Milton Williams.
No, it's like you can't lose like a role player. Like, if you lose any starter, if you lose Spillane. I mean, but look at what happened to Vegas without Spillane. I mean, they got the first pick in the draft.
That's a good point. They fell right off. Right.
Cost Pete Carroll's job. If they only would have had Spillane, they would have won 20 games.
Speaking of jobs, the Chargers had a chance to hire Mike Vrabel and did not. So, is this personal?
Everything that I do and every second that I spend preparing will be to help the players. That's a well-run organization. That's Spanos family is a good one, but no, that's no extra motivation.
Well, that goes kind of counter to your thing of it's single elimination, and that's all that matters. If they're having to dredge up some nonsense that they could have hired Vrabel in Los Angeles, when he was fired from Tennessee,
I was trying to figure out.
Yeah,
when,
instead of going and being a consultant with Cleveland for a year, and they hired Harbaugh.
Oh, when they hired
instead.
Harbaugh, yeah.
Wow.
2 years ago.
Wow, a job was open and he didn't get it.
Right.
That's unbelievable. The chip he must be holding on his shoulder. That's not a very if you need to get to the I know that athletes, which is probably not a good thing in regular life, but athletes need, and Brady was a huge example of this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every team, they need to be like a chip on their shoulder, and I have a reason to play for this. You've seen what it's done for Baker Mayfield, who seems to have an issue with everyone.
Ortiz was like that. Ortiz was always talking about how things were, set against him, and he was being disrespected.
Right, but I mean, this is a very long way to go. I mean, I would think that you'd want to win this game based on, your profession and pride and, everything else. That there happened to be a job opening while you didn't have a job, and that you did not get it is somehow a direct slap in the face. And by the way, they hired Jim Harbaugh, who's an on-the-level guy. I mean, he gets involved with the program. There's no issues afterwards. If you look at what happened in San Francisco and the University of Michigan and all these things, no issues after he leaves. All right, so very good. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics beat Chicago at TD Garden last night, 115-101 in the opener of a fourth.
Hardy, what else is going on? Anything at all? What do we got?
Yeah, some of the other coaches, as we heard Mike Vrabel a few minutes ago, some of the other coaches who are in the playoffs were speaking yesterday. And Aaron Rodgers' coach was speaking about him, Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Admired him from afar for a long time. It's good to do it with him. But again, as I've said multiple times here in recent weeks, this was the vision in the spring when we pursued him. That's why you do business with a 41, 42-year-old guy. Been there, done that. Guy with a resume like his. He's not only capable, man, he thrives in it. And I think he put that on display tonight.
Oh, I hope that they lose. I think they will, but do I hope that they lose.
I got an email yesterday. I can't find it because it wasn't very. Oh, here it is. I did save it. I saved it as a favorite. Really enjoying the now year-long running bit where everything Fred says about Aaron Rodgers turns out completely wrong. Aaron Rodgers is the worst quarterback in football. Aaron Rodgers will never play again. The Jets will be better without Rodgers. Obviously, Justin Fields gives you a better chance to win. No team is giving Rodgers a starting job. The Steelers aren't making the playoffs with Rodgers. Rodgers is going to get Tomlin fired. In all seriousness, love the show and listen every day. Thanks, Brian in Vermont.
Yes, the Jets were certainly not better without Aaron Rodgers. Not a ton worse, but they were. Listen, Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Fame quarterback. They lost 2 wins without him at the helm, so I will give them that. And Justin Fields was bad, but they went from 5-12 to 3-14. Aaron Rodgers was not good. And I would contend that Aaron Rodgers has not been very good this year either.
He hasn't been, and it makes me laugh listening to Tomlin say this was the vision. They had Russell Wilson and Fields as their quarterbacks last year, right?
Yes, they tried to retain Fields, but he thought he had a better opportunity with the Jets.
Okay, those 2 guys, neither of which are very good at all. Both of them were bad. How many wins did the Steelers have last year? They had 10 and lost in the first round of the playoffs. Guess what their record was this year? 10-7, and they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. They aren't any better with Aaron Rodgers than they were last season with 2 terrible quarterbacks.
No, I guess, predict that Aaron Rodgers would have less success than he's had. So in that way, I was absolutely incorrect. I thought Fields would be better than he was. I didn't think Fields would be historically bad. He was. And here we are. But the Jets will always find a way to not make the playoffs and to be worse, and the Steelers will always find a way to eke into the playoffs, and that's where we stand as a nation and as a society. So I should have known. If anything, status quo. That was what was going to happen. But no, I would not. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a very good quarterback. I don't think he did anything entirely heroic. I think that now looking back at the end of that game too, I mean, Hamilton goes out for the Ravens. That makes all the difference in the world. I mean, they were on a high wire. The kid misses the field goal, and now Jason McCourty or Devin, one of them, has put out something that they were formed illegally. They were an illegal formation on that field goal.
Okay.
And that the guy in the middle of the Pittsburgh defense leaped over. It was illegal.
It's the leverage thing or whatever
yeah, like a leverage thing.
And
but whatever. The kid missed the field goal, and what are you going to do? But yes, I was, I guess, wrong, but let's not oversell it and say that it was like saying that Drake May was going to, or like my Jason Tatum wasn't going to be as good as Jonathan Isaac. Now, that has been proven to be completely and utterly ridiculous. This thing, in the scale of things when you need to have opinions about sports, it does not go into a huge L for me.
Does Tomlin really think, say Rodgers wants to come back and Tomlin stays, does Tomlin really think by running it back next year and bringing Aaron Rodgers back that his team is going to get better?
No, I do. I think that I don't know what you want Tomlin to say. I mean, Tomlin is excited that they're in the playoffs, that this is who their quarterback is, and this is what he's got to say.
Ugh.
But I am going to I thought Pittsburgh would be worse, and if Pittsburgh didn't make the playoffs, would Tomlin necessarily – now, Tomlin wasn't going to get fired, but would Tomlin necessarily have been back? Would the Steelers have taken 2 first-round picks for Mike Tomlin?
They should have.
These are the things that you have to take into consideration.
I mean,
so a missed field goal. You know what? Out of all the dumb things I say, I'm not going to really take an L on that one too bad.
No,
I don't feel overly bad about that one.
They were 10-7 2 years ago with Kenny Pickett. They were 10-7 last year with Russell Wilson, and they're 10-7 this year with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and the Jets were 5-12, and now they're 3-14. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so no, I don't feel overly bad about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, to be honest.
Well, let's stick with the Steelers here for a moment because DK Metcalf is speaking about the altercation he had with a fan in Detroit. And perhaps you saw this, I think it was while we were on break, where he was talking with a fan in the stands, reached up and appeared to punch said Detroit Lions fan. DK?
Can you explain to us what happened in Detroit?
You had to be the one to ask him. No, I can't.
What was that process like as far as the appeals and talking with the NFL? Just kind of, can you walk us through that process?
I can't walk y'all through nothing that happened.
Were you surprised that the appeal was a foul and it didn't go the other way?
Yeah, but that's all I can say.
I respect that you don't and can't really go into a lot of it, but is there anything you would like to clarify about misinformation or anything else?
I can't say nothing about what happened.
Is that because there's ongoing
I can't say
legal
anything about what happened for the 5th time.
So he was suspended for the last 2 games of this season. The fan has been identified as Ryan Kennedy. Metcalf said that Kennedy made racial and misogynistic slurs to him. Kennedy, speaking through his attorney, said, I want to be crystal clear about one thing. I didn't use any racial slurs, no hate speech, none of that stuff at the game. He held a news conference the day after Christmas. He said, actually, never 15 years as a season ticket holder for the Lions. I've never done that at all.
What sucks is that, like, okay, so you're a grown man, you have a wig on, like a Lions wig on, and you're taunting a player. That's not the coolest thing or the most professional thing. That's not something you want like to see a brain surgeon doing. So you're obviously not the coolest guy in the world, but you're taunting a guy. He throws a punch at you, gets suspended. Like if you didn't say anything racial, like it's really bad that they're saying that you said something racial, because that is a career ender. Now again, if this is a guy working for me and he's got a blue wig on and he's, actively taunting players from a visiting team, I might go, oh no, I've put my, this is a putty situation. This is a face paint guy. Like, I don't know if I want this guy working at the firm. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but if he didn't, in misogynistic terms, okay, well, don't be, I mean, let's calm down a little bit. That's a very broad brush. But the racial thing, you assume he called him the N-word or said something about him being black, which is a huge third rail that you don't need on your record. So no one's covered in glory in this thing. And by the way, DK Metcalf didn't even land it. He just, whatever. He should have been suspended. You can't be throwing punches at fans. Sometimes I don't blame players for doing it. And I don't think it's the coolest thing in the world to be like dressed up like super fan and like sit there like screaming at the players, unless you're being very funny, which I've seen. But I've also seen people where I'm like, you have a mental illness. I don't really know what's going on, especially at Red Sox games. What was the kid saying over and over again? And then we had the caller who knew the guy. You smell like poo?
No.
Like he would go like, it was something with poo. Yeah. The word poo was in it. But it was something like every time a player would come off, he'd go like, hey, Ohtani, you smell like poo. Like, and he would do it over and over again, but he would just be like shoving popcorn in his face, and like he had to say it.
Yeah.
Like he said it like 100 times.
It's almost like an OCD thing.
No, it was exactly like an OCD thing. And he said it the same way every time, but it wasn't like he was at the edge of his seat, like mocking the guys. He would be like clocking in. He'd be like, hey, Sonny Gray, you smell like poo.
You smell like poo. VERN, Vern. Uh-oh.
And then he, just shove a handful of popcorn in his face, take a sip of the beer, like he had clocked in for the day.
One more thing about this guy who, by the way, at his press conference was wearing a nice jacket.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah. See, I'm respectable.
With a Lions hat spun around backwards rally
yeah.
cap style. He said, look, DK, please just come out and say I didn't say any of that. I'm getting threats. My family's getting threats. My business is getting negative online reviews because of this. And I didn't say that. But according to the NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, these two have been at it before. Metcalf had reported the same guy to security last season when he was playing for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
During the Lions win in Seattle. And this is not the first time these two have apparently had an interaction. So this guy's got something against DK Metcalf.
Guy's on the up and up.
There just seems to be like a difference between going to a game and, again, I got to hand it to the Cincinnati fans. They had that good amount of fatalism. Like there was no, my son and I had jet skier on. No one cared. They were like, yeah, we suck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we suck. And then it was like I ended up getting along. I ended up getting along with everyone around me. There was a good amount of like negativity.
But this insistence to be like part of the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to insert myself to a degree where I'm going to affect the outcome. I'm going to affect his play on the field because my trash talk is so on point.
Yeah, like ideally you get lost in the game and lost in the crowd and like you're making a lot of noise. I mean, that's the fun of it. And if someone's being funny and like making fun of players and they're like being funny, that's a very hard thing to do. Like you got to be like good.
Yeah.
And very rare. But if like your thing is I'm going to get in these guys' heads and you're just a man to another man, I mean, I can't blame DK Metcalf entirely for throwing a punch at the guy. I mean, like what do you like?
Yeah, enough already.
But the only thing is I would say like he's saying racial stuff that like if he wasn't, then you're that's a little unfair. The misogynistic thing is like whatever. Like what do you call him? Like a girl? Okay. Like oh no. Oh boy, the taunting. He should go to jail. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We discovered yesterday one of the worst play-by-play guys I've ever heard in terms of the corniness. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
More.
So that is the Rams play-by-play announcer, obviously, and we are Toucher and Hardy, and you can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, and they are playing in the very, very, very pressure-filled 4:30 on Saturday slotting because they have to play the NFC South. Whoever is in the NFC South is playing at 4:30 on Saturday. That is just going to happen until the end of time. That is the real garbage slot. Rams Panthers, and I was hearing
that's the game you forget that it's on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna unless I'm just happen to be home alone. I don't see watching a great deal of that game, but I guess Rams Houston. If you pick that as your Super Bowl, that's 20-1, and that Rams Patriots is longer odds.
What's Pittsburgh, Carolina? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I 5,000 to 1. Like I mean, that's just not going to happen. So, and not because of the Patriots. Obviously, the Patriots could very well make the Super Bowl. I don't think they will, but they could. Anyone could, except for the Steelers. Yeah. That's what the deal is. But when we heard this, I mean, obviously, ball don't lie. That's stupid in so many ways. So, and then we played something else and it was dumb. And then Hardy, we had Ryan investigate even further.
Yeah, Ryan found a bunch of clips from this J.B. Long announcer, Notre Dame graduate, an announcer for the L.A. Rams alongside Maurice Jones-Drew. They call the games there in Los Angeles for the Rams. So the game will be, what cliche will J.B. Long use? I will give you a multiple choice going into it, and then you boys will have to guess and see if you can come up with which one he drops into the call of the Rams play. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, when discussing Matthew Stafford and a certain pass that he's about to throw, does Stafford find his receiver in the right area code, in the right zip code, or in the right neighborhood? Are we going area code, zip code, or neighborhood?
I'm going to say zip code.
Okay, they're all annoying, but I'm going to say neighborhood might have the possibility of being the most annoying, but we'll see.
All right, here we go.
Matthew Stafford, under center, strong right set, play fake, flip to the end zone, in his own zip code. It's Tyler Higbee. Touchdown, L.A.
What a play design there. You didn't even see Tyler Higbee, who was all the way out wide in the three-point stance. I think he could have kicked the ball to him, JB, and he would still caught it.
If you're noticing a little imbalance between the color analyst and the
one's a little louder than the other. Just a touch.
Yes.
JB Long talks to his version of Dennis Newton. Hey, you got to put me up. You got to put me up higher.
There is a difference.
I wonder if they even send him to the game.
It's Tyler Higbee. Touchdown, L.A.
He envisions pyro going off while he's saying.
Never mind.
John just stepped all over it.
All right.
He couldn't see that you would produce something.
That's all right. Let's go to this one.
I even saw you produce something.
Opening drive. Do the Rams put the Saints in the spin cycle, the ringer, or the whirlpool? Do they put the Saints through the spin cycle, the ringer, or the whirlpool?
Well, I would hope it's spin cycle because that's the only thing that makes sense, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're leading it on too much. I say whirlpool.
John, you're wrong.
They put the Saints in the spin cycle on the opening drive. Absolutely impeccable.
Yes.
I don't even understand what that means.
Well, they got them all spun around. They marched down the field, and they were running around like Keystone Cops trying to catch up with the Rams offense.
Okay.
They put them through the spin cycle.
Very good.
All right. By the way, every time, and I was listening to a ton of these clips last night, it just reinforces my belief, and I don't care. I do not care who wins the MVP. But with Matthew Stafford and all these highlights throughout the season throwing to Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua making these acrobatic catches, it only reinforces that while Stafford, very, very good, doesn't deserve the MVP more than Drake May. He just doesn't. Listen to who he's throwing to here. So when he finds Devontae Adams, do they hit the jackpot? Do they hit pay dirt? Or do they hit the big time?
I wouldn't even play the game. I would just play it. and because it's too I think it's almost too leading. I would just play the clip. Let me hear what he has to say.
They throw right side. It's low. It's caught at the goal line. It's Devontae
for a touchdown. 6 straight games that Adams hits pay dirt, and the Rams strike first in Carolina.
The footwork there by Matthew Stafford was incredible. He has to turn left to sell the play action, gets the ball down to Devontae with great hands for the catch.
Yeah, that's like, and then there you go. He scores. Your turn. Thank you. Yes, you look at the footwork there.
It's almost like Maurice Jones-Drew is like, all right, are you done screaming? He gives it that extra beat. Okay, you sure you're done? All right.
Well, Adam told me in my ear, it does sound like Jones-Drew might be in his basement. Yeah. Like they sent the play-by-play guy like to the game, and that in order for them not to talk over each other, that there needs to be a beat. And then, like, okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Now you analyze.
And then you add in a little extra delay that's happening anyway as one is talking down the line. And
Straight games that Adams hits pay dirt, and the Rams strike first in Carolina.
The footwork there by Matthew Stafford was incredible. He has to turn left to sell the play action, gets the ball down to Devontae with great hands for the catch.
Okay, so that's something that everyone's going to realize. So, say that over the course of the season, by not sending more, say he's not there. You save, there's, say, 7-8 games that he's not there.
Right.
You save, let's say you save $4,000, $5,000 by not sending him. You're in Los Angeles. I would take it the rights to the Rams. You bring in a lot of advertising just by nature of the amount of people in that city. Is it worth $5,000 to just sound this bad? Now, watch, they're still there. They're there together, and this is all just in my head. But there are, like, I heard Nebraska, Ohio State on the radio for 2 minutes yesterday, and you couldn't even hear the crowd. It was so obvious Nebraska was not at the Nebraska announcers weren't at the game, like they just weren't. And they even at one point during the 2 minutes commented "Wow, the crowd's really quiet," and you're like, no. You know that there's no ambient noise. Whatever was going on with the broadcast, they didn't have a microphone at the game. It was super obvious that there was no ambient noise. It was really strange. And
sound like a COVID game.
Exactly. Oh. And so that, it's Ohio State. I'm sure there's 12,000 kids there, 10,000 kids there. There's some at least conversation going on during the game. And I just go, there's saving money, and I understand that you got to do that, and that's the reality of things. But there's also the product, and if you just make the product this uncomfortable, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to lose the audience, and then you're going to lose money, and then it's just going to sound, it's not going to be as valuable to people.
And at some point they're going to realize, is this even necessary? Do we need to have this? If you're not going to invest in, and you're not going to have this product that's somehow better than other ways you can consume it, then maybe we just shouldn't do it, and that's not good.
Right, because if I'm in the car or I'm doing something that requires my attention, I need to hear what's going on. I can't, by nature, look at my phone or watch it on television. There is a need for it. You're serving a need. It just, at some point when you're pinching pennies, it's self-fulfilling prophecy. You're just diluting the product to a point where, sure, now you're really not going to make any money because no one's going to care.
Yeah. I will give J.B. Long credit. He did drop a couple in there that I don't think I've heard before.
Stafford on another give. The Rams run it right down the middle and put it in the paints.
Oh.
JB, when we talked about the Rams just focusing on yourself, that's what I mean offensively.
Put it in the paints?
Oh, put it in the paint. Yeah.
Well,
see, the end zone's painted.
I almost
you're not understanding this.
I understand it.
Obviously.
I've heard the paint on the basketball court. I've never heard the end zone referred to as the paints.
Yeah.
By the way, the head coach that just got fired from the Cardinals looks like the kid from Succession.
Oh.
Looks like the guy that
Jonathan
became famous
Gannon,
from Succession. Almost the same facial structure entirely.
You can't do this to me, Fred.
It's really something else. And then I saw something that, who was it? Reminded someone exactly of that kid that lives around here that does the videos about being fired up to get into his processing job.
The guy that Breer went to high school with from Succession, that guy.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
There's that evil, like, snarky nepotism-y stuff to him.
The guy Tom from Succession is in a show called Death by Lightning that Marcy wanted to watch over break about the assassination of James Garfield. I'm like, this sounds like something you should do on your own time.
Yeah.
She says, come on, it's only 4 episodes. Number 1, Michael Shannon plays James Garfield.
Okay.
He's fantastic. And the guy who plays Tom on Succession, the oafish husband of Shiv, plays the guy who assassinates James Garfield. It's phenomenal. It's a 4-episode show. It's great.
I can't watch Michael Shannon anymore because he toured nationally with an REM cover band.
That's one of my Christmas gifts. Marcy got his tickets. We're going to go see him.
I just don't like that.
They're doing Life's Rich pageant in its entirety.
Yeah, it's just so strange. And I know the band's like on board with it and that they get up on stage sometimes with them. It's just so strange because if you're not an actor, you're just this like Rush cover band that played our anniversary show. It's because you're a character actor. By some way, you now get to live this karaoke fantasy of touring the country, doing another band's songs. You're just a cover band.
I love cover bands.
Yeah, cover bands are fine to come across. Like if you go somewhere and there's unless it's like a whole show in itself, like Metal Shop or something, or whatever they became, Panther or whatever those guys were. I saw them when it was Metal Shop at the Viper Room, but they became Steel Panther. Like that's like a whole thing.
Well, believe me, when this gift was revealed to me, I said, what day of the week is this?
Yeah.
And when she said Friday, I got excited. Oh, okay, good.
Because if it was just an REM cover band, would she have gotten you those tickets? No, it's because Michael Shannon, who no one cares about, who is most likely can't recall, but he's certainly unique looking. So I'm taking it he's a very good actor because he's very unique looking, and that they kind of go hand in hand.
Yes,
the handsome guys, like the dude in the new Running Man that was in Twisters.
Yes,
I can't figure out who the amount of couch sex that guys must have had with Hollywood directors is because why him? Glenn Powell is a faceless mashed potato on white bread. Like that just screams to me like you're going downtown with a bunch of these dudes. Like that just like something's going on. Like why did anyone pick you over anyone else?
Shannon is less cardboard than that guy.
Shannon's like an ugly guy. So like you figure
it's a little different.
You figure like wow he's like Philip Seymour Hoffman's like an ugly dude. So you figure like he's a really good actor, right?
This will blow your mind. The last time Michael Shannon looked normal was as the young teen newlywed in the movie Groundhog Day.
That was Michael Shannon?
Michael Shannon is gifted tickets by Bill Murray to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He and his new bride.
That was him.
And that is Michael Shannon.
God, you guys have really good memories because I've seen Groundhog Day like you probably 10 or 12 times. No recollection of that scene whatsoever.
It just jumped out at me one time.
No way. WrestleMania.
Thank you, Mr. Connors. You are the best.
That's right.
It's so funny that she got you tickets
pal.
to that because I don't dislike him for it, but I just can't look at him now and just go like, you've just are touring around based on being a character actor in a cover band and people are going to see it. It just all bothers me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me not like him. It's just I can't see him as anything except for a dude in a cover band.
The only reason why I'm excited about it is because it's REM, and it's probably my second favorite REM. It is my second favorite REM album. So, yeah, I'm on board. Let's go.
No, I don't. I'm not making fun of you for even going.
Oh no, I'd make fun of me for going if I were going to see because it's Michael Shannon. Oh, Michael Shannon's in a band. I'm going to go. That would be lame.
But the truth of it is that you might go see like I could see like if you happened upon like something came on an ad on the radio and it was like REM cover band's coming. You going? I got nothing to do. I'm going to go see this REM cover band.
Yeah.
But your wife does not give you those tickets if that dude is not in the band, which is entirely unfair because who cares? If Michael Shannon was like at Costco, you would be like, how many aisles would you move to go look at him? Like, that's the thing, is that, like, it's not like if Michael Shannon shows up at something, the whole world stops. Like, he's not even that famous. But here he is in an REM cover band, and, you know, they're getting, what would you say, like 500 people a night to go out to see him in cities throughout the United States?
Well, let me tell you, as a recent joiner of Costco, I will say it depends on where he is in the store. The number of aisles. I mean, is he back with the paper towel and the toilet paper, which is way in the back corner, and I do not care for?
Yeah, that's where I sit out. What you got going over there?
And I've already made my trip back to that section. No, I'm not going back.
You're buying an awful lot of toilet paper. You got an upset tummy? All right, and finally, one last one of this Rams game.
Brings Davis Allen in motion. Stands up to throw the slant, and it's caught. Devontae Adams. Touchdown Pay. Touchdown L.A.
Oh, Jesus. You want to talk about quickness? My goodness.
Wow.
Do they call him Pay?
I don't know. I mean,
is Devontae Adams' nickname Pay?
Tay. I thought it was Tay.
Play it one more time. I know we have to break.
Brings Davis Allen in motion. Stands up to throw the slant, and it's caught. Devontae Adams. Touchdown Pay. Touchdown L.A.
You're right.
It sounded
Tay.
like, yeah, but Tay would make more sense.
Tay would make a lot
Devontae.
more sense.
All of it sucks. Whatever he's doing sucks. All right.
All I know is Maurice Jones-Drew is earning a paycheck.
All I know is that Oberman and Patrick need. I wish I could go back in time and butterfly effect them never being on TV, because that tiny amount of success those guys had launched 3 decades of this nonsense. Like that, you have to have
that butterfly to a piece of cardboard.
It's just like, my God, like, stop already. Okay, they had some success doing it. It doesn't need to happen anymore. Knock it off. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Devontae Adams. Touchdown Pay. Touchdown L.A.
You want to talk about quickness? My goodness.
I can't even do it. It's just that's affected.
He's
like,
insufferable.
He really is insufferable.
Yeah.
But I think it's because he's legitimately just a huge dork.
Yeah.
Like an uncomfortable dork. And unfortunately, that manifested its way into, like, I'm cooler than you. But then hearing him talk for 15 hours. Because when I'm at my parents' house, these are hour-and-a-half walks out of the house. Getting lost in the neighborhood, that was the big goal. Christopher Price was in his own noise rock collaboration with Michael Shannon, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
Christopher Price is the Patriots beat writer for the Boston Globe. Hello, Christopher Price.
Hello, Fred. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Now, it is the big Sunday night game. It being on Sunday night, this might be a dumb question, but Sunday night is the premier slot, right, for the playoffs? This means that the league thinks this is the best game?
Yeah, I think it's one of the two best games in my opinion. When I tend to think Saturday night is kind of a more of a premier time slot, but Sunday night is probably in the conversation.
Christopher, I will push back hard on that. Saturday night for the networks is a dead zone. They don't want to put anything on Saturday night. That's actually true. And if you think about, how old are you?
I am 56.
Okay, so you know. So like when television was television, right? Like before it was all on demand. Think about what they would put on Saturday nights. Like it was just, a movie or something. It was just wasted time.
I remember a lot of variety shows.
Yes, exactly. Cheap to produce. They don't really care about eyes on it. And I would contend that the Packers-Bears, that they're saying 4:30 is the worst slot. That's the NFC South slot.
Yes,
every year.
Yes,
4:30 on
4:30
Saturday.
is the worst. Yeah, exactly.
But I think it goes 4:30, 8. I think the two Saturday games, and then you work backwards. Or work forward. So like the 1 o'clock on Sunday and then up until the
three
Sunday
games on Sunday arguably are the three best games of the entire weekend. If you have a Sunday slot, then you are golden.
And then they kind of like reverse order them. So like the best game is at 8 and then down and down and down.
49ers Eagles is 4:30. I mean, that's going to be a good game, but yeah.
Yeah, because you have the reigning Super Bowl champion and they're playing at that time. But regardless, okay, so this Chargers team, a lot of people are saying this is good fortune, that, you wanted to avoid the Bills and things of that nature. Are you in that camp? Do you think that the Chargers, this is the best case scenario short of the bye?
Yes, I do, for several reasons, not the least of which you get to see the Jaguars and the Bills beat up on each other, and whoever comes out of that bloodbath moves forward, and they're a little bit lesser because of their first-round matchup or their wild card matchup. I think the Chargers are a good team. They can be beaten. They do have some soft spots. Their pass protection is not great. Justin Herbert was sacked 54 times this year. That's the most of any quarterback that's still in the playoffs. And the other thing is, too, I think New England is going to be able to run up and down the field, particularly when it comes to the ground game. The Chargers have given up 90-plus yards in their last 3 games. It's not an overwhelming number, but that's certainly a spot where the Patriots could exploit them.
Yeah, because the running game for the Patriots, they've, like, over the course of the end of the season, they became a very effective running team, and kind of the dynamics of the offense changed a little bit.
It did. And look, you take the opponents into account, particularly the last 2 games, but I have a hard time finding fault with anything that they've done on the ground really over the last 6 weeks. I think they've stayed over 100 yards. They've averaged more than 4 yards a carry. Stevenson has come back. He's really bounced back after that rough start. Henderson is a true home run threat. So you have 2 backs who are very complementary when you look at their overall skill set. So yeah, the New England ground game, I think, is a force to be reckoned with going into this postseason. But as you guys know, you're going to need to run the ball in January if you want to win football games.
So how did Will Campbell look to you last weekend? Obviously, I'm not focusing on the offensive line. I would ask about Milton Williams, but it was pretty obvious how well he played. How did Will Campbell look to you?
He didn't look like he had a problem at all. He looked like he slotted back in there very naturally. There were a couple of rough patches here and there, but for a guy who was seeing his first action in over 4 weeks, I think he looked well. And I think, look, he's going to have a lot on his plate going forward, but I think that was a good first game back for him to get his feet wet, to get him ready for the postseason.
Yeah, Chris, it's interesting that you mentioned like not having a problem with anything they're doing on the ground, and really offensively, Neither do I. Watching Josh McDaniels, getting into his bag of tricks again on Sunday, and the things that they're doing, they're obviously working. If there is one thing, and I can push back on this myself too, Chris, it's sometimes the run calls seem to be less than creative. They're sending guys, right into the middle of the line, and if it's Ramondre Stevenson, especially, trying to use him as a battering ram, maybe going to the right guard slot, and you can see the play is going to be nothing the moment they snap the ball. But every once in a while, and this is where I can push back myself, Chris, he'll bust loose and get going for 54 yards downfield. So even the times when I say, God, why are you doing that here? That doesn't seem to make sense. Are they doing it just because every once in a while, especially with Ramondre, they can exploit it and they can get away with it and bust loose for a long run?
Yeah, there's a couple of things at play there, Hardy. First of all, Ramondre is really good at finding space. You give him, what's the old Gale Sayers line? Give me 6 inches on daylight. I'll be in good shape. That's really important here. He had a couple of really good runs, like you said, last week against the Dolphins. The other thing too, and they've shown this an awful lot over the course of the year. We've talked to a lot of guys on the offensive side of the ball. Those runs into the line that are theoretically 3 and 4 yards that don't appear to be doing much damage will set up play action moving forward. And I think that's one of the areas of success that this offense has had this year when it comes to setting up play action. They're going to need that going into this game because talk about the Chargers. The Chargers are really good when it comes to pass defense. Derwin James on the back end is one of the best in the game. Great safety, multiple Pro Bowls, multiple All-Pro berths. This is one of the best in the game. There's a reason that the Chargers have not allowed a 300-yard passer in a couple of years now. And so I think that, maybe with play action, you want to get the guys going in a different direction, use that aggression against them. And, again, use play action to set up, some stuff in the intermediate and long game.
All right. Are you concerned that this is the best coach quarterback combination that you faced this season? And would you agree with that statement, first of all?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, Herbert's one of the best young quarterbacks in the game, and Harbaugh's a very good coach. I agree. In terms of teams that you face so far this year, this is the best combination.
Does that concern you at all? Because people can simplify the game and just say if you look at the best teams, it's generally the best coach quarterback. We've done this a lot with the Patriots this year, doing the same kind of standard for them. Does that concern you at all about this, that they haven't faced this kind of combination yet?
I think that combination has been able to do a good job paper-overing some of the deficiencies that they've had on the offensive side of the ball, particularly when it comes to pass protection. However, as we know, you get into the playoffs, that margin for error starts to grow smaller, and you have trouble with those sorts of things. Good playoff teams will be able to exploit your weaknesses, and I think the Patriots are going to be able to get after Herbert. Look, a lot of this game is going to boil down to whether or not Tonga, Spillane, and Harold Landry are available and ready to go and completely healthy. If those guys are in there, particularly obviously Landry, Tonga, and Spillane are not going to be chasing around the quarterback, but you're going to be able to scheme up some pressure for the Patriots defense when you look at guys like Milton Williams, when you look at guys like Landry. They're going to be able to get after that quarterback. And I think that the Patriots will be able to expose some of those weaknesses if those guys are able to go.
Is there any way this is a blowout either way, in your opinion?
No. This is a one-touchdown game one way or another.
Well, that's all you can ask for, is that if the Saturday night slot, this thing goes down to the wire. That would be very exciting.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Sunday night slot.
It's all the same to me, baby. My weekends are just shenanigans for 56 hours.
How do you feel about the Sunday night spot, Chris? Fred so far is the only one who doesn't.
He's all in.
He doesn't have an issue with it. No, I'll stay up late. I don't sleep anyway. As Whoop says, he's only getting about 8 minutes of sleep a night, so he doesn't care.
Yeah, look, it's a compelling game. It's an interesting game. It belongs in primetime. That being said, for us, the sports writers who are working for newspapers, it makes for a lousy deadline. You're going to have to write and then run downstairs and get 5 or 6 quotes and then run right back upstairs. So it's tough from that perspective, but it's a great game. It's great to have playoff football back in New England again.
That's right. And I look at the schedule next year and I'm like, I don't know if anyone should be complaining about anything.
That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really hard next year.
Look, and they're a good team and they should be better than this year. But, I mean, let's not get Let's not start getting nitpicky here.
Exactly, Fred. And also, speaking of next year and compelling games and all that, I would bet you that they're going to be the team that's going to play the Lions on Thanksgiving in Detroit.
Sure.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Oh, then I will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, if I can keep the juggling act going as I have over the last couple of years, I will be there. And that means I'll be at 2 Lions games because I'll also be there when the Jets visit.
Oh,
So I can see them get beat by 75 points. But listen, look out. When the kid from Oregon declares that he's coming back, then we'll have that edge rusher from Ohio State. It will be a whole situation.
No, you're trading like 3 years worth of drafts to jump up a spot with the Raiders and get Mendoza.
Why would the Raiders possibly trade out of that spot for anything? And then you would have to think, why are they letting us do this? There's something terribly wrong here. They're in the exact same spot we are. All right, Christopher Price. Well, I'm looking forward to Sunday night. I hope it is a close game. I'm guessing it will be. Read him in the Boston Globe. Thanks, Christopher. We appreciate it.
Take care, guys. Talk soon.
All right, very good. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're touching and Artie. This chair, man. The arm of this chair has now fallen off 15 times. It serves me right not to put my. Who am I to put my arm on the chair?
I was going to say you could swap it out with that one over there, but I see the arm is off of that one as well.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Well, it looks like we're having some fun. These should be replaced anytime soon. Look for that to happen.
How many years have we been in this?
I lost track.
We moved in here in the summer of 2022,
which is the most glorious summer of any summer, because we moved from that hellhole in Dorchester. It's just you take.
Have you been back? You promised never to go back. Have you been back to Dorchester?
No. I mean, I'd go back to Dorchester. I'm never going back to that particular area unless I would, for whatever reason, have to go to BC High for something. There's no way I'd ever go back into that particular spot. It's impossible to access. It's the most remote spot in all of any major city. It's a little nook of the place that's impossible to access.
UMass Boston right there.
UMass Boston Lowell. Not Lowell. UMass University of Massachusetts Boston, right?
Yeah,
is
right
there.
Yeah.
Where they're, I believe, building housing for kids so they don't have to somehow work their way into that nook. I was downstairs. I was getting something to eat to relieve this lightheadedness, and there was I heard the sound of the rowing machine.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen every day anymore.
Right.
That's almost entirely in that Kevin Spacey movie. That's the only place that it exists.
American Beauty.
American Beauty. You go to the gym, you don't see a lot of people on the rowing machine anymore.
No, and now I have my son doing this too when we go to the gym. What I see is people on machines looking at their phones. And this, just put it in the category of things that shouldn't affect me but do, and it just drives me insane. Now I've got him counting as we're walking through the number of people that he sees sitting there, not working out, just staring at their phones. And I just hear him going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he'll just, at that, once we get done walking through, he'll just say 7. Like, yep, that's what they do.
Well, that's the thing is that no one gets off of the equipment. They in between sets, they'll sit there and then they'll get on their phone and they'll lose track of time. So it could be 5 minutes between sets.
I went to the gym for an hour today. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sat there. You just sat in a different place. I actually was walking the dog for a long time yesterday, and I listened to an interview between an athlete and this guy that does like personal training for athletes, and he was talking about how to train. And I got news for you. There's no way to do it. It's impossible. It's apparently very involved and almost impossible.
To train?
Yes. That anything that you might be doing on your own,
you're doing it wrong?
Or any information that you've picked up through any point in your life is all absolutely useless, is completely futile. That anything that you look to do on your own is completely a huge waste of time. That one needs several advanced degrees even to even remotely avoid injury or get any kind of physical gain whatsoever. It's a scientific tightrope of which one has to watch, where any wrong step will just lead you to injury and failure. There's nowhere to go. And then the guy would contradict himself all the time.
No.
Like about not going to failure, but then you would have to, go to failure if you were training for a specific event.
Sure.
And all these things and the importance of technique. And the guy was saying, the host was saying, well, I'll see triathletes a lot of times, guys that do triathlons, and they're wasting all this time training when they should be working on their swimming form. And I just want to grab them and do why aren't you just taking 6 months and working on your swimming form? Yeah. And I would say, well, that sounds like a good use of time, that everyone should just take that 6 months and go hire a swimming coach and go figure out how to swim. They were basically saying, the guy used the example. He's like, if you want to say do a 17-minute 5K, he's like, you're wasting your time. You need to go to and spend a year like learning to run like correctly, because it's all about balance. Oh my God, the things balance.
Balance is important. You can't be falling. You can't be falling down all over the course.
You know what? That'll hurt your time. You can't do the 17
the guy,
minutes that way.
The preface to all of it is like, we were born to run. Like, so he allowed that.
Oh yeah.
He said we were born to run, but you are doing it completely wrong. And if you look at and then of course it shifted from the 5K immediately in his mind to like a marathon. He goes, if you look at marathon runners, they're all elite sprinters.
Of course they
are. Because you have to be fast to even run fast. You have to be fast to run.
You got to be fast to be slow.
You got to be fast to and then, but then while they were saying that, they were like, but a lot of times you're training in at these upper registers, which are no good. You have to train your body to train.
So you got to be fast to be fast, and you have to train to train.
All it sounded like was like, just give me money. Just give me money. Anything, unless I'm telling you every day what to do, and unless you have a team of people fixing your form, making a specific plan, monitoring how this plan is affecting you, unless you have, honestly, not an exaggeration, like a team monitoring, like, so you'll work out like for 2 weeks, then they'll monitor you and like see how this has all been affecting you, and then shift your plan around a little bit. And this, again, he used 5K as an example. This is not for like, elite athletes. No, he works with elite athletes as well, but some regular folk too. It just is like, well, then why even do anything?
Exactly, because if it just takes over your life. My friend Paul is a trainer. He's a few years younger than me, but for years he's been saying this. He said, for anybody who wants to do anything, Fred, like your 5K example, for Paul it's golf because he does a lot of golf training, but he's just a fitness guy. He's like, you have to stretch and you have to get your body warm before you do this stuff. And I'm like, for how long? He said, minimum of 20 minutes. Okay. I'm like, my entire workout is going to take 20 minutes, dude. And he's like insistent on warming up and the foam rollers and all this stuff before he does anything, before he works out, before he plays golf. And I said, I'm sure you're right. I'll just grant you that. I will concede right now that you're right about everything, but know this, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to stretch forever. I'm not going to foam roll. And I'm certainly, once I'm done, I'm not going to go do it afterward, because once I'm done and I'm done playing the game, which is the only type of working out I do anyway. I don't work out for the sake of exercising. I have to be doing some type of activity. I'm not going and stretching and rolling out and doing all the stuff afterward. I know I should, and I'm going to avoid injury, be better. But it's so much time. It's time consuming, and none of that stuff is fun. It requires this level of dedication. I'm just not going to give to it.
Your friend should be careful, because I could counter with, if he's just like a trainer, then these guys are saying that they're basically obsolete.
Oh.
Because if you just go to a trainer, which I don't agree with, but if you just go to a trainer at the gym, they're just giving you like a program that's based on very limited information. I mean, you got to have like a gas mask on. You got to be having people take like, and then they get into optimal protein.
Yeah.
Like, how much is there such thing as too much teen? How much teen can your body produce at what point? And then you're thinking to yourself, then why bother? Why bother doing anything? If what you're saying, because I'm sure like, Tony Atlas or like these guys like in like 1920, were very on point with all this stuff, that they were getting like, blood drawn in their muscle. I can't tell you how ridiculous this whole thing was. Your friend's just basically telling you to stretch, which you don't want to do. But at least he's saying, yeah, warm up and stretch. Fine. That I understand that. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how in the weeds. And they were like, there's no point in doing it unless you're doing this. They're literally like, you're doing nothing. Like nothing good will happen. You're going to get hurt, or you're just spinning your wheels. You're going to nothing's going to happen. And they're talking about getting blood drawn. revisiting how everything's working every 2 weeks. Like really, before you do anything, like spending 6 months of technique work.
You want to run the St. Patrick's 5K? Well, I'm going to have to go to Quest Diagnostics 3 times, so I got to schedule that.
I'm serious, man. It's just like give me money. Because that's what it's got to be. Because there's no way, unless you're, an elite athlete, that's required.
Yeah.
There's no way everyone in good shape at the gym is getting their blood drawn and working on technique for 6 months before they even start doing anything.
See, Paul just texted me. That is why you fail. That's not nice.
Well, that's why Paul's a motivator, my friend. Sometimes you got to go the other way.
It's just knocking me down further
there you
and
go.
further.
Knock you down a peg, get you in shape. All right, Andrew Callahan is going to join us for an hour.
too early to tell. Alex Austin will continue to practice and his return to play, and we'll evaluate that and then see where the other guys are, see where Spillane and Landry and Tonga are, and Jared as well.
Hi, we are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Andrew Callahan is the Patriots reporter. He's also a columnist for the Boston Herald. Andrew is brought to you by Ramjack New England, your local foundation repairs experts. Visit them at ramjack.com. Andrew, hello, sir.
Good morning. Good to see everybody again.
Nice to see you. You and Hardy, you love the quarter, what is that called? A quarter zip?
Quarter zip.
That's a quarter zip. Yeah.
Quarter zip.
That's called the Phil Perry special, but Andrew was rocking it today.
Yeah, that's just saying, like, I'm settled in.
That's right.
I'm a family man. That's where I'm going from now on.
If I told you I got this at Walmart, would that change anything?
No, it's just like you're a poor man's quarter zip.
You're a poor man's Phil Perry.
You're evolving into. No, you should become more established, and your brand grows. You'll be able to move up in quarter zip economy.
Phil's more high end.
Andrew and I did TV together on Friday night, and he wore a quarter zip on the show where I was in the sport coat and it's not like a super nice dress shirt, but this guy shows up. He is so in demand at NBC Sports. He can show up in a T-shirt, and they're like, "Yeah, get out there, do your thing."
How often do you do the TV?
Well, it's telling that it happened during the holidays. I get the call for the can you come in tomorrow? The day after Christmas, stuff like that. But I don't know. I'd say maybe once a month or so.
It's worth your while.
Yeah, it's less during football season because they've got a bunch of football guys. They've got Andrew. They got all these guys. But yeah, I would say outside of football season, maybe once a month.
Yeah. And they pay you per show still?
Uh-huh.
Huh. At least it's not in Burlington. When it was in Burlington, that you were sacrificing an hour and 15 minutes to get there.
That place in Newton's a little bit easier to get to.
Needham.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Newton
Needham. I could pop over there. Whenever I wanted to.
So you've got a key card going once a month over there.
I had a key card because I was going more frequently than that back in the day, and then my key card stopped working. But we also did the show from there when we were moving into this building. Did you guys do your show from there?
No, because we weren't on TV anymore.
No.
It was funny. We pulled.
No, we just needed a studio.
I don't recall.
I think we were the first ones in. I don't think we had to worry about that.
Yeah, I think TV was a factor in that. It's because we pulled ourselves off the TV, and then when I asked the guy, I was like, I saw the guy at the Gorman retirement thing. I saw one of the guys. I said, "Hey, maybe that was a mistake. We should go back on TV." And he went, "No." He's like, no one was watching. Yeah. And so I said, oh, okay. Because you stay on TV for that long, just by the nature, it bumps up. It wasn't a lot of money, but by now it's probably a decent amount of money to have your show on the TV. But then you're not on the YouTube.
Oh,
and
that's a killer.
No, I'm being serious. Is that's the way people are now, consuming media. You know what? I think it's now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably for the best, given the evolution of the broadcast industry. It's nice to get that paycheck, but maybe being on YouTube and having that presence is better.
Did that change how you did the show? Like knowing you were on TV and you had cameras?
John shaking his head because he had no involvement in any of that. But no, not how he did the show, but you had to talk to Fowler. He was, he'd get there at 4 a.m. for whatever reason, and there was like stuff that we had to do. I don't recall it being a pain in the ass. Not like our massive syndication deal and the whole company that was put together for no reason.
Was there
and then used against me.
An LLC formed?
Sure.
You really want to ask
if there was, I wasn't involved in it.
I don't think you want to do this.
I don't know. When you have the mighty powers of North Conway in your corner.
You forgot Portland, Maine.
No, Portland, Maine was the only, which is very sad, the only like actual radio market we were in. We were in North Conway, Portland, Maine, which was agreed we'd do a free appearance twice a year. which mitigate which the travel to and from in the hotel was. Now I'm at a deficit in terms of what we were making. I think I was getting $100 a month.
Yeah, speaking of deficits, Nicholas did say there was an LLC attached. He knows this because he had to end up paying taxes and going to the hole.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, yeah. See, I was not involved in the LLC. You can see how this was all done in an effort to screw me, in my opinion. Is that a brilliant plan. So I said, as long as I don't have to do anything, have at it. And boy, that was real crushing blow when that went away.
Nice job, Rob.
And all right, Andrew, you excited? This is Sunday night. That's the big slot,
big time.
Yeah, that's where they put the best game. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so in the eyes of the NFL, this is the best game. Do you agree?
I do.
Okay, so this is a one-score affair. This is two teams very evenly matched. You're looking at it that way.
Yeah, I am. And I think they're built similarly in that the offenses are going to go as far as the quarterback can take them. Patriots have the best offense by EPA per play because May has been, in my opinion, the MVP. Defensively, you look at, okay, what do they do well? They don't give up explosive plays. The Patriots don't. And they tackle well, and that's kind of it. The Chargers have the best deep ball defense in the league. They also tackle well, but they've got a couple more pieces going along. Derwin James, Khalil Mack's past his prime, but still there on the edge, and a factor that you go, they're better defensively, but catching up offensively. And on balance, these teams are pretty evenly matched and really well coached.
I'm wondering, even though Mike Vrabel, very experienced, Josh McDaniels, very experienced, do you think the relative lack of inexperience across the roster at this time of year will hurt them in any way this Sunday?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's enough here with guys, even defensively, like Harold Landry should come back. Milton Williams obviously went to the Super Bowl last year and had some big games. Carlton Davis has won a Super Bowl. They've got enough voices in the room. And then even in the huddle offensively, like Stephon Diggs has played a bunch of playoff games. He's the one doing the talking there. I trust that. I don't think it'll be anything about like, oh, we couldn't handle the stage. Plus, you're at home. But there's going to be something in the first quarter where there's just kind of an energy, right, in the stadium that you have to feel out and go, oh, this is different. You know what I mean? Like the NBA playoffs tip off and you're like, every possession counts on defense as much as offense.
Much different than January.
Yeah, it'll go up a level. And that's the stuff that you don't navigate the nerve so much as like, whoa, okay, we're at 110% every single snap.
Yeah, and you talked about it. You talked about the coach and the quarterback, and we've talked about this with every writer, is that when people simplify it and they talk about the Patriots' success, they say coach, quarterback, this is what wins the NFL. And they have that in Los Angeles. They have that with the Chargers. Does that concern you? That this is is this, in your opinion, the best coach-quarterback combination that they faced this season?
Yeah, off the top of my head, yes. I think Sean McDermott and Josh Allen would be the only other one.
Yeah, that would be the only other one.
And then you're close enough where if you want to argue one way, I'd say they're all in the same tier.
Did you see when Felger and Maz, I'm sorry to interrupt, when Felger and Maz went through their schedule and went through the top 10 picks in the draft and how many games went against teams in the top 10 in the draft? It's like 11 or 12 of their games were against those teams.
Yeah.
It put it in an interesting perspective.
This is a historically weak schedule.
No, I realized that, but I thought it was clever the way they did that, is that they saw, I didn't think of it that way, like they saw the draft and then they went through it and they're like, well, you played the Jets twice, you played Vegas, you played, you these are all teams that you played, and you played the Giants, you played, and it's interesting how that went down. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, look, I think there's something to what that means for like raising the floor, right? Like same with the Bills. When you've got that good of a coach and that good of a quarterback, you're just not going to screw up to a level that you go, hey, we can just wait them out. Like you have to knock out the Chargers, I think, in the way that you have to knock out the Bills. And frankly, other teams have to knock out the Patriots because they're not going to turn the ball over. You're going to have a quarterback who can come back and win in the fourth quarter, and a head coach who knows what he's doing. So that's the thing that I look at and go, if for whatever reason the Patriots are out of character, maybe it's like the early energy or just a game plan that you go, what the hell are they doing? The catch-up against the Chargers is going to be harder than people think. I just think it'll be pretty even throughout the course of the entire game and probably comes down to who has the ball last.
Yeah, the consistency with which the Patriots have played it gives me the most confidence in terms of why I think they could and should win this game. The fact that they don't panic down the stretch, now that we've seen Drake May put together a couple of late game comebacks and do something, if not heroic, at least really good down the stretch. My question is, going back to what you just said, Andrew, is not allowing the Chargers to get out to a fast start, not allowing that first touchdown on the opening drive, and then if you get stuffed, it's not panic, but playing from behind against that team and that offense.
Against a playoff team.
Against a playoff team that's like any teams in the playoff. You get behind, obviously.
This is the second playoff team you've played. Correct? Oh, no, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
But
yep.
okay, yeah.
Third
so this is the third playoff team you've played.
Yeah.
So that's a good point, is that if you've been allowed to have these missteps, but you haven't played any playoff teams, this is a real measuring contest here.
Yeah.
I mean, it does raise the stakes in a lot of ways.
And against another coach and quarterback that also are not going to panic.
Right. Yeah, I think, too, the Chargers also might be the team that if the Patriots had a little worse injury luck and had a much harder schedule, that's who they would have been, right? Like 11-6, team that you trust, might have a bad loss. Like the Chargers got waxed in Jacksonville, I don't know, like 6 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. But other than that, there's not really that many bad losses on the schedule because what we're talking about, you got a high floor, good coach, good quarterback. Their issues are up front in the way that I think the Chargers wanted the Patriots as much as Patriots fans wanted the Chargers, because they go, our offensive line is so bad, we have to take the team with the worst pass rush. And even with Milt Williams back, like, that's the Patriots, and it's not particularly close. So they're kind of wiping their brow and going, all right, we'll get healthy even though we're on a third left tackle, and we'll kind of hang in and we'll scheme and we'll see what's going on here. But to your point about the early lead and the Patriots falling behind, it sounds insane to say, I want to put the game on Justin Herbert's shoulders. But if they can run the ball, do what Jim Harbaugh really wants to do against this defense and control the clock, that's when you're screwed. Because if you do get them to be one-dimensional, that's when you exploit not Herbert, but the offensive line. Until they're sitting back in pass protection every snap, though, you don't know what's coming, and you aren't able to do that and help yourself from a pass rush standpoint.
Do you think? Just quickly, do you think that the Chargers will know that Milton Williams is back? Because there were a couple of plays where the Dolphins, it appeared they didn't know he was
that
there.
Tackle for loss.
Yeah, one of the first plays of the game, right? They made that point.
Yeah. It was like, oh, there he is.
That's like Cole Strange owed him money because it's like, just go. I got you. 7-yard loss.
They'll have the tape.
Cole Strange didn't wear gloves in college.
No.
Yeah.
He was raw, Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like a John Mabry type. Didn't wear batting gloves. Do you remember when he came out of where did he go to school? University of Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Yes, that's right.
He didn't wear gloves. He was a real throwback. Cole Strange.
And the vertical bar on the face mask, just a different dude.
Yeah, him and
Not
Tavon
good,
Wilson.
different.
You don't mind these stupid draftniks. They don't know what they're talking about. Like all the other teams, don't know what's going on. Sean McVay wasn't making fun of him.
No, he was telling the truth that day.
He was being completely earnest in his assessment of that pick. It's just the amount of. It's funny because you look, the guys that cover the draft, like Mel Kiper, they're wrong all the time by nature. But it is funny that there are some things that are just so what. Like if the guy wasn't at the combine. And it wasn't his choice. If Tavon Wilson wasn't invited to the combine, and you take him at the top of the second round, like you might love him. No one else was taking him. Save it. No one was going to take Cold Strange. You just don't take him there. What's wrong with you? There is a consensus. When you're involved in something with 32 other people, and there's a consensus, best to follow that consensus just statistically, right? Just by numbers. Like you can like whoever you like, but if you know almost certain that they're in no danger of being taken away from you, maybe save it. What a dumb drafting strategy. No,
different boards, different fit. You
N'Keal
draft
Harry.
for fit. N'Keal Harry, that fit exactly. You know what?
The wrong running back from Georgia.
That's right. So
Sony Michel.
We don't need Nick Chubb. We want Sony Michel.
No, we'll take the worst one. We'll take the guy that everyone knows
and
is
we'll
worse.
take him before Nick Chubb.
That's what I'm saying, is that we'll take the kid that's the worst out of the same college backfield, and we'll take him first. But it all paid off. Remember the argument? It all paid off. Because he hit a good
scored
Super
3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl.
Right, and that's why that's in no other play. You got to have a first-round pick to do that.
Don't win it without him.
No, absolutely not. There's no one else that could have done that.
I missed a good Patriots draft rant. It's been so long. It felt like seeing an old friend.
Well, you
was really nice.
You just bring up Cold Strange, and it's not even that Belichick did it; it's the defending of it.
Yeah,
because it's indefensible. Even if Cold Strange ended up being okay, he would have been. You don't take him there. No one else was going to take him. That's exactly what you don't do. If you know no one else is going to take him, don't take him. Save it. Trade up later. Jesus.
The spin was, he would have been gone later in the second round. Well, we found out later that's not true. And, oh, my God, he's gone in the second round. Or where are we going to find a guard?
Or how about this, John? Trade back to where you think he might be taken.
Trade back is the most obvious.
Maybe pick 40 you could snag him.
Don't take him 20 picks before he was going to go. It's ridiculous. That's not. It doesn't even make logical sense. See, those are the things about Belichick that piss me off. Is when it didn't make any logical sense, and people would defend it. It drives me crazy. All right, very good. Thank you for mentioning Cole Strange.
Anytime.
I was on the air. What do you read the draft preview? Yeah, I don't know anything. But I know that he wasn't going to get taken.
It seemed kind of unanimous. He wasn't supposed to go there.
Well, when another coach is making fun of you for taking him, I think that's a pretty good shot. That in that premier position of guard, from what is that even? That's not even an FBS school. That's got to be like
FCS.
That's got to be an FCS school.
It is.
Can I tell you the worst part about that pick too? Just since we're not going to bring up this again for I don't know how long. The worst part was the Patriots did trade back, but the team they traded back with was Kansas City, who took Trent McDuffie, who since made an all-pro team at corner and was a guy that I had, Phil had, Doug Kybstra, everybody else. Doesn't mean we're right all the time. But you look and go, it's a good corner. He makes some plays. He could play in the side. He could play outside. Take him.
Well, yeah, first-round picks are generally not under-the-radar kids from tiny schools. I mean, first-round picks are generally people
it's tough.
In their research have come across, I don't know, like a receiver from USC, or something. I think that they've come across their radar before.
Well, anyone can find those players.
That's right. It's when you dig into the FCS schools, who, by the way, apparently had quite a thriller last night for their championship. You know it's a big deal if it was played on a Monday night.
Overtime, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll be back. Andrew Callahan's with us for an hour. We'll have more with him in just a moment.
Toucher and
known as Mr. Fun.
Dutcher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Big offensive line.
Hardy and I were just talking about it. Michigan State in basketball played USC yesterday, and then a guy that used to be on the team, he's like a graduate or whatever, a guy that used to be on the team, this guy Davis, was in the stands and got kicked out of Hardy was telling me, I didn't know what he said, but apparently he was calling the referees like mom a whore and stuff like that. Like, I guess he was like saying real bad stuff. And the ref like went to kick him out of the game, and then he went over to Izzo, and he's like telling him what's going on. And Izzo just stands up and he's like, "What the F are you doing? Get the F out of here. Go, go." Like he's just standing there yelling at the kid.
Yeah.
The kid's across the court. He's not by the benches. So he's like on the other side of the court.
Wait, Izzo was yelling at the ex-player or the ref?
The ex-player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, you told the ref, like, this isn't my problem. Get out of here.
No, he was telling the guy, and the guy's drinking
good.
a twisted tea.
Okay. Here's your first mistake.
And when I say kid, he doesn't seem like he's probably like in his late 20s, but he was in like the second row on the other side of not by the benches, like on the other side of the court. And Hardy was telling me he was calling the like ref's mom a whore and stuff, and the ref's like, enough of this, like you got to go. And then he wouldn't leave, and so he went over to Izzo, the ref, and told him what was going on. And Izzo stands up, and then the guy kind of makes this sarcastic, like puts his hands on his heart and like bows to Izzo, and Izzo's just like, no. Seriously, what are you doing? You're like working the ref against
your
us.
building, sir. Yeah.
I love it. Nothing Izzo does bothers me.
They're in the middle of a play, and the referee blows the play dead and turns around and points at the guy and says, like, hold on, and then walks over to Izzo. He's like, hey, I'm going to have to call like a technical foul on you guys because this guy is like so out of line.
Yeah.
It's not like it was, in between the action.
Yeah.
He said, nope, hold on. This is getting out of control.
And it led to us to the DK Metcalf thing is, there's this back and forth on, if Metcalf, what the guy said to him. And, Metcalf said it was something racial, which if that's not true is unfair. But also there's that point of the guy's wearing a Lions wig. And like, on his own in the front row, like antagonizing players, which, if he's working at my law firm, I'm not overjoyed by. I'm thinking like, wow, I've hired a real like loose cannon here. A, he's dressing up for these games like an idiot. And B, he's, individually going after these players. And we were talking about it, Andrew, that if you are going to be, throwing lines out from the crowd, it has to be almost expert crowd work. Like, you have to have everyone on your side. You most have to get, like, other players on the team on your side, too. Like, you got to be coming with very funny material. Like, if you're going to make it all about yourself, it's like a 1 in 1,000 chance. Like, if you're going to make it all about yourself and go after a guy, I've been at baseball games where I've seen it. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yes. There's multiple Instagram accounts with this, actually.
Yeah, like, and those are very hit or miss. But you got to be, like, on point. And it can't be, like, right, guys? It's got to be, like, very good material. Almost like a back and forth going on. The only time I ever sat courtside at the Garden, it was during the kid from Miami, Ohio, when he was here. When they made that trade, when they traded the trade and the white kid from Miami of Ohio, you know who it is, John. Jesus Christ, you watch every game.
I do. Who are you talking about?
He was a one-time All-Star. He was a big white kid from Miami of Ohio.
Oh, Zerbiak. Wally Zerbiak.
Yes. So, like, it was easy to get the courtside seats. They were playing against J.J. Redick, and some guy asked him over-under on how many times he'd done this, like, gay act, and then J.J. was just like, over. And like, and you were like, oh, you failed.
Problem solved.
Yeah, he just came up with some like
done.
gay thing, and then JJ Redick's like, I've heard a billion. Like, they were legitimately cruel to me in college.
Yeah,
there'd be whole campaigns around me and like organized efforts in the crowd of like thousands of people coming after me.
Yeah, I'm the annoying white kid from Duke. I've pretty much heard it all by now.
Right, you're coming at me with some like gay thing. Like, wow, no, you knocked me down a peg. And I remember being very disappointed in the fan. I was saying, like, oh, boy, this is like you paid for the courtside seats, and this is what you came up with?
Yeah.
It's some, like, gay barb asking him how many times he's done a gay thing. Wow. This is second-grade material. You got to be much better than that. All right, Andrew. As as the playoffs broke, so we've talked about the situation going on with the game on Sunday night. But if they do move on, who do you like in that Buffalo Jaguars game? The Jaguars are very interesting to me because if you dismiss the Jaguars, it would be the same logic that you would dismiss the Patriots, only you would dismiss the Patriots more, so I'll explain. Is that Trevor Lawrence has been in the league longer. So Drake May had a better year than Trevor Lawrence, but you have to – Drake May and Trevor Lawrence physically are both elite, correct? Like there's nothing Trevor Lawrence couldn't do size-wise, physicality-wise. Do you agree with that? If it was based entirely on how you are physically.
Yeah, if we were having the combine tomorrow and they both tested, it would be similar.
Right. So, and Lawrence has won a playoff game, so he is more experienced than May. So the argument that the Jaguars, just by nature of being the Jaguars, are somehow destined to fail, I could use the same logic almost with the Patriots.
We mentioned Jacksonville had a tougher road schedule. They have better road wins than the Patriots do.
I mean,
at Denver and at San Francisco.
They have a rookie head coach. There are these things, but I don't want to get into the weeds about the similarities between Jaguars and the Patriots.
We also know the gap between Lawrence and Drake May is big. Like
this year, absolutely. But I mean, I'm just saying physical. Well, Drake May, not Drake May, but Lawrence has been spectacular the last half of the season, or certainly the last 4 games of the season, 5 games of the season. He's been now they've played some junk teams. Well, so is May.
That's another similarity. If you want to keep going with this, it's the soft schedule in the second half of the year. Look, Trevor Lawrence has been never better. I still just think the best version that we have of Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, who I trust more defensively than offensively, is that best version is still appreciably worse than what Drake May's doing this year.
Fair enough. I'm not really looking to have an argument about who's better. Drake May's better. I mean, Lawrence threw for 4,000 yards, which they insisted that he gets. They let him hang around in that game until midway through the third quarter.
A lot of that this weekend.
Yeah, it was annoying. If this kid gets hurt, he threw 29 touchdowns. I mean, he was pretty good. But anyway, is there a team? You're of the mind that Buffalo is the most dangerous team to the Patriots in the AFC?
Buffalo had been my answer the last 4 or 5 weeks, and the reason had been for me, if you get down to a last drive, would I rather trust Drake May to go against Houston's defense, the best in the AFC, and go win a game, or would I rather ask the Patriots defense to stop Josh Allen? And this is the criteria for picking Buffalo as the most feared opponent and Houston. And I ended up going with Buffalo because I just think Josh Allen in that kind of scenario, 2-minute drill, tie game, trailing by 2, 1, 3, whatever, is scarier than asking Drake May to go against the best playoff defense. But Houston's offense, too, has come around in a way.
Yeah,
that,
are you totally off Stroud now?
No.
Okay, because Stroud, struggled a little bit and then he was hurt. But Stroud, a year ago, 2 years ago, was considered this elite kid.
He's not where I thought he would be based on 2 years ago, and maybe that factors into it. That's maybe why I'm still not convinced of him. And I'm sorry, but between going up against the two, and of course their defense is legitimate in Houston. No one's discounting that. But what has the power to hurt you more? Josh Allen when he's on, or you being unable to solve Houston's defense?
Yeah, and that was my point about picking Buffalo. The thing for me is Buffalo's defense is just so bad that the reason the Patriots lost that game a couple of weeks ago is that you were up 24-7 and then got 19 plays in the second half offensively. May wasn't good. Josh McDaniels didn't have a great half. But how often is that likely to happen again to me? And that led me back to Houston as the more balanced team, which also by the advanced metrics, including their offense and defense, all say the Texans are better. But it's just so GD hard to go against Josh Allen in the MVP. You know what I mean? Like, just the best player in the conference in the way that you would pick the best player if this was an NBA game, which is, by the way, how we start to treat the analyses of these games. Who's better, Drake May or Josh Allen? Drake May or C.J. Stroud? You go with the best player. That's how we pick postseason series in basketball. But right now, given how even these teams are, I don't think that's necessarily unfair.
Yeah, it does seem outside of Pittsburgh that everything is wide open. A question about Denver. Okay, is this a good or a bad thing? Denver, I've seen their defense be horrible and then be saved by their offense, and I've seen, like last week, their offense be atrocious and be completely saved by their defense. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It seems like a bad thing almost to me. For whatever reason, I've seen Denver play 8 times this year. I don't know why. But I've seen them, and I've seen them be really bad.
And you still don't know is the crazy thing. And I don't think you're wrong to.
No, because I've seen Bo Nix. I've seen Bo Nix look great, and I've seen Bo Nix twice look like the worst quarterback I've seen outside of the Jets.
We went through it. Bo Nix had 4 touchdown passes in one game 2 or 3 weeks ago, but no more than 1 in any of the other 7 games in the second half.
Yeah,
I mean, he can be incredibly good and then exceptionally mediocre.
If you watch him play the Jets in a game the Jets literally just should have won. They had a wide open receiver that they missed with time running out, getting field goal range. But that was like a 12-10 game or something.
I think you're right about
Bo
that.
Nix was worse than Justin Fields. Bo Nix on Sunday was, because obviously I would hope that most of you tuned out of this blowout and started watching the game that was actually competitive with the team that you were going to face.
Start scouting LA, yeah.
Well, it was a far more interesting game. Bo Nix was legitimately bad, like not seeing open guys and missing open guys, in that he was missing dudes that were open, just not seeing them, and then if he did see them, he was just not getting the ball to them. He was terrible. So part of me wants to go like, oh wow, well they can, if the kid's playing terrible, their defense is obviously stood up, and when their defense is playing bad, this kid's played well enough. Maybe there's some magic. But then I think, no, there's obviously going to be a game where the wheels fall off both parts and that they go crashing down. Where do you stand on that?
I tweeted maybe 2 months ago that if you squint really hard, the Broncos are just the AFC Falcons, and that their second-year quarterback you don't really believe in. Their pass rush could be good, and then some games you look like this is the dumbest team in football. The flip side is they're much better coached. Like Sean Payton seems to have a deal with the devil in that there's nothing that can go wrong with them in a one-score game, because that's how they've won all of their games. So I don't fear Denver. If I'm the Patriots, that honestly is a place I would rather go and rather play than host Buffalo in an AFC Championship game, which sounds insane. I know the history, but those demons are old. They're gone. They're broken down.
Okay.
This is an undefeated road team facing Bo Nix. You could argue, given his experience in the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers, Bo Nix might be the worst quarterback in the AFC.
Oh, I think Bo Nix is the worst quarterback, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is good anymore, and I think Bo Nix is the worst
Statistically,
quarterback.
Rodgers has been one of the worst, like bottom 10 in the entire league. I don't think Bo Nix has played like that, but I think there are things that Aaron Rodgers can do that Bo Nix right now is just not at that level. It's just
the
how often
floor
does
of Aaron
do that?
Rodgers with a decent coach seems to be higher than the floor of Bo Nix.
Anyway, I don't.
Bo Nix
buy
does have the
Broncos.
ability to run.
I think people calling the Broncos frauds are going too far, because if that's the number 1 seed in a tough division, what does that make everyone else who couldn't get a better record than them? But that's just the weird year that we're having, is that you have a number 1 seed that no one really believes in. The biggest reason to believe in them is they don't have to play this week.
Yeah, the record, because of these one-scored games, obviously is not going to be as good as it was next year as it was this year. But, I mean, this is how teams win, is they win in the NFL. Unless you're absolutely terrible, the majority of your games are one-score games, right? Like, that's the way that it generally goes. Like, if you don't win one-score games, you're not going to be the number 1 seed in the playoffs.
Well, I think it's the fact that
Kansas City last year, I think, had they won like 11 one-score games or something like that.
They invite it more than other teams, though, is where I'm coming from.
Oh,
Like
I know, I agree. Yeah. I completely agree, and that goes with the thing is that one part of the team's going to fall apart, and the other part of the team's going to have to make up for it. I mean, Denver was getting the ball on the Chargers 15 and not being able to score. I mean, they kick a field goal, but I mean, they weren't able to put. They didn't score an offensive touchdown in that game against a team that quit. Didn't quit trying, but they mass unit, and Harbaugh just kept taking guys off the field, and they still couldn't score touchdowns against that team. It was a very frustrating game. Like, you should be up by 5 touchdowns right now. Trey Lance is awful. Just get it over with already.
Are you glad you tuned into that after Miami, New England became a blowout?
Yeah. I actually enjoyed the game. It was it was frustrating in a good way. It was frustrating. No, the Miami New England game sucked in the second half. That was a terrible game. The Chargers hung around for way too long. It was interesting. All right, we'll be back. We'll play 2 stats in the live with Andrew. Hear that, Lens.
Essentials.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Two stats, but only one lie. Andrew Callahan is here with two stats and one lie.
All right, it's two stats and one lie. Andrew Callahan from the Boston Herald has got two stats that are true and one that's a lie. There is this thing where they can all be lies, and if John gets that right, then it's over because he already got one right, and that put him in such a tremendous lead. That we're gonna have to. Game theory on this is not on point. Next year, we're gonna have to. Just you can keep the rules the same, but the
Andrew and I were
scoring has to be
talking.
different.
We were talking about it on Friday, and it's like, oh, you still have one, like 3 lie left, and we got to determine now, like, when does this end? Does it end? I mean, does it
ends
end
with the
Super Bowl?
Yeah, We'll do one last one at the Super Bowl.
All right, so we have it. It's
another 4 weeks.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the Patriots don't have to be in the playoffs. We'll just do it through the Super Bowl. People
All right.
seem to enjoy it. It's all labor intensive on Andrew's perspective, so it's of no issue to me. He gets paid the same way.
Well, Andrew
either
and
way.
Nick.
All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Let's do this.
It takes two stats from the other night. And one lie, see if you can get it right.
The flow, so good.
All right, Andrew, let's get to the statistics. What do you have for us today?
Number 1, Mike Vrabel has sacked Jim Harbaugh more times than he's coached against him as a head coach or assistant. Number 1, Mike Vrabel has sacked Jim Harbaugh more times than he's coached against him as a head coach or assistant.
Okay.
Number 2, Drake May, potentially the next MVP, fingers crossed, was sacked in...
shut up. You homer.
Was sacked in every game this season. Drake May, potentially the next NFL MVP, fingers, toes crossed, prayers said, was sacked in every game this season. Number 3, only one of those is true.
Oh,
Okay.
Number 3,
All right.
only one of those is true.
Jim Harbaugh is 62.
You suck.
Listen to this. All right, I'm going to help you. Jim Harbaugh is 62. I know this because he's the same age as Sean Payton. Interesting, huh? This is what
Very
happens
good.
when you switch off that dumb game and start watching the real one. Vrabel's my age, 50. So there's a 12-year age gap between the two of them. Now, Jim Harbaugh played a long career, but if Harbaugh came out at 22, that means that he was 34 when Vrabel was a rookie, unless Vrabel was 21 when he came out. But you get the math. 2 is May has been sacked every game this season, and then 3 is if one of those is a lie.
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying they're all lies. Just on the age gap. I'm just so proud that I know Harbaugh is. I believe if he's not 62,
You're
he's
going
61.
all lies?
Yeah, because if he's not, you can too. John can. But if he's 60, if he's not 62, he's 61. Because I remember thinking, oh, good, these guys are a lot older than me, which made me feel good. Because we're getting to the point now where half the coaches are younger than me, which I don't care for at all.
Okay, I think since he included his time as an assistant, Vrabel coaching against Harbaugh or as an assistant, I don't think you get there with one or the other, but I think you eclipse the number when you add in the assistant. So I think that's true.
You don't have an age, which was more impressive. On
It
my
is.
end.
It is.
Thank you.
I do think Drake May has been sacked in every game, so I think that number 3, and that only one of those is true, is the lie.
Aren't most quarterbacks so sacked in every game?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Most
get,
quarterbacks
especially
are
a
sacked
guy
in
who
every
runs around a lot.
Yeah.
But he just got a little fun smile on his face, so I wouldn't go all lies.
Okay. Well, I was told I can't.
He just got it. Yeah. So
John,
that might
do
be
whatever you like.
that might be to your benefit because he got a
I
little
was told
cute look
I
on his
can't.
face.
No, I too thought of the assistant angle to all of this, Hardy. He was assistant in Houston for multiple years, if I remember right. So no, I think one is absolutely true. The question is, do I want to go 2 or 3? And I'm trying to think if Drake May was actually sacked in these games the last couple of weeks. where they scrambled and got tackled behind the line of scrimmage or something like that. I actually
You mean
agree.
one's a lie?
Yeah,
You said true. You think one's a lie?
No, I think that Vrabel has sacked Harbaugh more times. Oh, that's true. One is a lie. Hold on a second.
I'm helping you out here.
Hang on.
Let,
You
let
see,
me
now I'm
reread
pulling-
them all again once.
Now
Just
I'm
reset
pulling
the
a
table.
Fred here.
Number
Okay, go
one.
ahead.
All right, from
Mike
last year.
Number one. Mike Vrabel has sacked Jim Harbaugh more times than he's coached against him as a head coach or assistant. Number two, Drake May was sacked in every game this season. Number three, only one of those is true.
Yeah, I'm sticking with mine because my thought was no, he didn't coach enough years with the Titans to get that number, and the sacks would be a lot more. But if you include his time, it's still going to be more. I'm sticking with mine. 3 is the lie.
All right,
because
actually
that is true, and May has been sacked in every game. That's also true.
even though I had a brain fart there, I too believe that 3 is the lie. Three is the lie.
I don't even think John thinks that. I think John's just trying to not lose any ground to me.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll switch it if you want.
No,
to do
you
that.
can't switch it now. It's too
Okay.
late.
All right, fine. 3 is the lie.
All right, so everyone's represented. Oh, no. Okay, go ahead.
What's the one that's missing?
I don't remember. Go ahead.
2 is the one that's missing.
I'm getting it. We're 2 in the weeds.
2 is the lie.
Oh.
Okay, there you go. That's why you gave that little fun look. I should have switched it when I read his face.
So the only game Drake May was not sacked this season was Sunday. Miami.
Well, it would have helped if I watched the whole thing. Then I would have known.
Who could watch that whole game?
Mike Vrabel sacked Jim Harbaugh October 18th, 1998. Harbaugh came in as a backup for the Ravens, or he threw fewer pass attempts than the other quarterback who played for Baltimore that day. And they'd never coached against each other. They overlapped once Vrabel's first year in Houston. He was obviously coaching the Texans, and Harbaugh's last year with the Niners. They did not play each other that year. Then Harbaugh goes to Michigan, and he's there up until last season when we know Vrabel got the year off because Vrabel didn't get the Chargers job over Jim Harbaugh.
Most importantly, I just Googled it. Harbaugh is 62 years old. So
Yeah, well done.
Great job, Fred.
Thank
I think
you.
that's a half point.
Yeah. Why not?
Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie. Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie. Woo! Come on, girl.
All right, Andrew Callahan, read him in the Boston Herald. Andrew, we will see you next Tuesday, come hella high water. We do lists on this show, but there's one that I saw that I am bringing to everyone's attention because it's funny in a way. It's so preposterous that there's a lot to do with the list. It's just the 40 greatest musical artists the last 40 years.
Wow.
It's as simple as that. And it's not like, can you believe this person's on the list? There's many ways that we can do this. I can have you try to spell the artist's name. I can try just to have you read. I could give you the artist's name, and you could still not get it right. Not a song by them, an album by them, saying their name. I'm not convinced you could do. So that is what we will do. This is a major publication. This isn't like Downbeat or something. All right, Andrew, thank you. We'll be right back.
Touch her in heart.
Sports Hub on YouTube. What? I have a friend who's on an airplane. They said the guy next to him was watching us. And it was, it's that's a big compliment.
That is nice.
And then you seem like it's like having a paparazzi outside. You understand? Mm-hmm. It makes you look like a big shot.
I still like it when I hear someone in a car next to me, which doesn't happen all that often, especially this time of year because the windows aren't down. But you can see on the screen if they're listening to the Sports Hub. Mm-hmm. I still like seeing that.
Nice.
Everyone honk.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a symphony of honks.
Well, now
Whip them out Wednesday.
People start whipping them out. Yeah, be careful.
Make fun of that all you want. That made those guys tens of millions of dollars. That whip them out Wednesday was not dumb. Yeah, that was very, very smart.
Tens of millions.
Opie and Anthony individually made at least 10 million. At least low ballpark when they got the job re-signed in New York.
Yeah, WNEW.
And they had the syndication deal. It was like a multi, like well over.
And then the satellite payday.
Yeah, 7. I don't know if they ever got a ton for satellite, but that was a 7-figure deal or an 8-figure deal easily, because Opie would always say it that he was like a multi-millionaire. So yeah, they hit at exactly the right time. All right, Spin Magazine. You're all familiar with Spin. Bob Guccione Jr.'s. Mm-hmm. Bob Guccione, of course. Penthouse Magazine got very into peeing for a long period of time. An interesting documentary about him available on one of those streaming services. No pun intended. About the Guccione empire, but his estranged son went on to form Spin Magazine, which was kind of like a more modern version of Rolling Stone. Okay, so this is not. If you're listening, you've never heard of Spin Magazine. You're not of this age. I guess Spin Magazine started 40 years ago. Spin Magazine would have like an REM on the cover, while Rolling Stone have a John Cougar Mellencamp on the cover.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not steeped. It was steeped in the 80s, not the 60s. Okay. So Spin's 40 greatest musicians over the last 40 years. We talked about this yesterday. I gave you the top 10. It's not like crazy. You'll argue with it, but that's not the point of this. Kurt Cobain, Nirvana is number 1. Public Enemy's number 2. Sinead O'Connor or Shudada Sadquat, or I guess what she changed her name to. Madonna, Prince, Tori Amos, Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, Outkast, Eminem, Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Sure. Oasis is 11 if it helps.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Now, I will give you. I'm gonna
now. So also, Fred, Spin Magazine. This has been a joke for a long, long time that they were always too hip for the room.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
and that's
they've always
kind of a joke because they weren't exactly like on the vanguard.
No, they weren't. But if you're trying to be like something approaching a mainstream publication, even as an alternative to Rolling Stone, they would insist upon these bands and artists and songs and music. You're like, huh? That's your top song of the year?
Okay.
All right.
There are There are 4 artists in the top 40 that I will give you $1,000 each for each one you can name. Okay, so that's one. So $8,000 I could be shelling out.
Okay.
Don't even try.
All right.
That's how. And then, I mean, there are ones that are pretty funny to explore. But just quickly, this isn't the exercise I really want to do. But just think of some bands that might be on there.
Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
It's not a bad guess.
That's not a bad guess
given
at
what
all.
they're throwing on here.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but sure.
I know who that
I
is.
would say absolutely sure.
Is that the one who?
Don't try to get too weird with it.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
guess like mainstream ones that Spin might have named.
Okay, 9 Inch Nails.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Are they on there?
Yes. 9 Inch Nails is on there.
Okay.
At number 22, Trent Reznor. 9 Inch Nails.
Okay. Very good.
I would. The Spin is going to put Stone Roses in there.
No, but that's not.
They're
a bad
not on
guess. But Oasis is at 11. I think I said that. Go ahead.
White Stripes.
No, but that's better.
That's a good guess.
That's a good guess. If you had to guess a rapper,
REM has to be in there.
REM's not on the list.
Oh God.
A rapper.
but REM are old, so 40 years. Unlike Buddy Guy, who's at number 28. The great Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy.
All right.
Of the last 40 years?
Yeah, the last 40, because that's when he's really been making his hay.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I'll tell you, U2 is 40.
Okay.
Okay. The replacements
Oh,
are 34.
Coldplay.
No, they're not going to be on Spin Cycles.
All right, you were talking about rappers. Is it too obvious to say Eminem?
He is on there. Eminem is yes.
Okay.
He is at
9. I already said his name.
You said, all right. And how about Run
Tupac.
DMC?
Run DMC
Tupac is
32.
also yes. Run DMC.
Tupac's at 26.
Yep.
We're cooking with gas.
Biggie.
Yes.
No. Biggie's not on there. Much of a slap in the face if you put Tupac on there.
There's
West
another-
Coast Boys.
but they would put Eric B. and Rakim, Spin Magazine.
No, but
would
they
have.
did put a Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
Okay.
I was
Alright.
actually going to guess that.
All right. Taylor Swift is at 24. Metallica's at 25. All right. So, there, Radiohead, you guys should have guessed. Depeche Mode's on there. Peter Gabriel. David Bowie, I don't know what, 40 years? Sure. Tracy Chapman, of course, changed the world. How about if I gave you an Irish singer-songwriter who lived in Boston for a while?
I'm sorry, David Bowie in the last 40 years.
Yeah, because he's again known for ripping up in the 90s
not Bowie
and 2000s,
from like
right?
70 to 80.
No,
South America.
It was like the Toy Machine era or whatever that band he was in.
Actually,
What if I gave you an Irish singer-songwriter who lived in Boston for quite some time?
Jonathan Richman.
It would
not
make
a
more
bad
sense
guess,
than this.
actually,
That's more modern than this. Man by name Van Morrison at 20.
Oh, of course.
Kicking it out of the...
Yes, but post 85 Van Morrison is his most popular stuff.
Obviously changed the world. All right. Okay, now here's where it gets fun. I am going to ask you not to name a song, an album, or anything.
Okay.
I'm asking you to pronounce numbers on the 40 greatest artists of the last 40 years.
Okay.
Because everyone can go, oh, no, Tupac doesn't belong on there, or, wow, I can't believe you put Laurie Anderson, who's a dumb avant-garde artist that was in a quote-unquote marriage with Lou Reed, which I call into question.
Performance art.
Yeah, a performance artist. We can all, for days, just say, wow, look at how esoteric these picks are.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you not to name a song, not to name an album, even in a genre of music.
Just say the name of the artist.
I'm going to ask you, to spell this one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to spell Cesaria Evera, which is not a procedure, a Latin name for a procedure to take a child out of you.
good job pronouncing that, Freddie. You actually nailed it.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Well,
Cesaria
Evera?
Cesaria
Evera. Yes.
Evera.
No, you just said Cesaria.
Whatever. Just
All right.
Syzaria.
Okay, you, Jonathan.
Cezaria.
Cesaria, then a space.
Yes.
Capital Evora. Now, who is that?
Cesaria Evera is she sings Cape Verdean music. She's
Why are you so focused on North America and
Cape
Europe?
Verdean, and that's actually
She changed apartheid. I would have to imagine that's what happened.
She collaborated with another artist on this list that we will get
Okay,
into
I am
shortly.
going to ask you to read number 21.
Oh, God.
This might be one that Hardy actually knows.
Okay,
because
well,
this is the
then
one
I'm gonna
of
have
the
John, you read it.
Yeah, have John.
Just come to my
read it.
mic and read the Spin 40th greatest musicians of the last 40 years. Just read number 21.
Oh, Jesus. Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
Pretty close. That's
That is
Nusrat
four
Fateh Ali
names.
Khan, yeah.
Now, are you like was predicted by Adam? Are you aware of number 21?
Can I
Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan?
Can I read it?
Which is not something that summons a leprechaun.
No, this is a Sufi devotional musician. He is one of the most influential South Asian singers of all time.
I'm kind of pissed that you thought I might know this.
Well, here's why, Hardy, is because he had music on soundtracks to the Natural Born Killers, Dead Man Walking, and The Last Temptation of Christ. He actually collabed with Eddie Vedder on one of those.
We all know the seismic shift after the soundtrack for The Last Temptation of Christ came out in the world of music.
That's right.
There is really, it's a pre, that was a Scorsese movie, right? That's a pre, which I've never seen. I own it on DVD, but I don't have a DVD player.
But Natural Born Killers, that was his soundtrack that we had to play songs from.
Yeah, I played. There was a Nine Inch Nails song on there, and
that is a movie that I watched 10 minutes of and went, I get what you're trying to do, and I ain't buying it.
No, I ain't watching it either.
Good soundtrack, bad film.
Rodney Dangerfield is in it.
Yeah. How about read number 23 for me?
Oh, Salif Keita.
Oh, I know that guy.
Okay, you do.
They know
I
Salif
have heard
Keita.
of that guy.
Interesting.
I have heard of that guy. Worked with a guy. You ever see the movie Ali? has Salif Keita as part of its soundtrack.
That's right.
I had no knowledge of this. The guy I'm working with was a massive Salif Keita fan. Apparently he has this big song called Tomorrow, which is a huge smash.
Is a collaboration with
Where were you working?
Cesaria Evora.
I was working at Metro Networks at the time. I was working.
Did this person go on to become some like great philanthropist or something? How are they involved in the
traffic.
Ali?
He did Traffic. I have no idea.
And he loved the Ali soundtrack of the Will Smith vehicle Ali?
That's correct.
Now, have any of you sat through Ali?
No.
I have.
See, I will not watch anything Will Smith is because A, I know it's going to be terrible, and B, he's a loser prick. Cuckold, which I will not watch him play any masculine role.
So
I will watch him in his first foray into film, where he played
6 Degrees of Separation.
I believe him in that role.
Yeah.
I do not believe him in any other role.
Very believable.
But this guy is one of the top 40 artists.
The golden voice of Africa is who he is.
Okay.
He's a Malian.
Well, let's get back to what I assume is not an African or an Asian artist. Chris Whitley.
I say Yusuf N'Dour is the true golden voice of Africa.
Okay.
Chris Whitley. Anyone?
I didn't know who this was until I looked at the list.
We all worked in music radio for...
I thought it was like a country western guy.
Sounds country.
25 or 30 years of
throw
this
a country
era.
western guy on there, to balance it out. But
who is Chris Whitley?
Well, it's lovely. I'll read you from the list. Chris Whitley is an outlier on this list. Well, maybe he shouldn't be on it. But he's not a novelty item meant to make you shake your head and go, "Wow, I guess music critics know so much more than we do." That's literally
who is it?
He is he's a blues rock singer songwriter. That's who he is. Chris Whitley. He's like a Big Sky Country.
Now that you said his name for a third
song.
time, now I know who it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, no one knows
Chris
who this guy
Whitley.
is. Yeah, exactly. Big Sky Country. Never heard of that song. Never heard of this guy.
Bjork is at 38, and by the way, I got news for you. No one outside of stalkers. There's like 8 of them like Bjork.
You know what? When we were talking about this yesterday, Bjork was the first name that I thought of.
Because
I should have said that.
Bjork seems to exist in a bubble for like a handful of people that are absolutely devoted and insanely devoted to. Like Bjork, I don't think anyone likes the Sugar Cubes or likes Bjork. I think they like the idea of a pixie maven.
There's a couple of Sugar Cube songs that are listenable because they're just decent pop rock songs.
Yeah.
But the Bjork solo
songs that way,
stuff,
too.
I have no use for.
I think it's almost an anime suspended childhood
I think
thing
there's a
with
lot of
Bjork. I think it's almost like someone who's super into Lord of the Rings. And then at number 37, of course, is Fela Kuti, who's a fella, and he's a real cutie, He's Fela Kuti.
Oh, man.
Now, who's Fela Kuti?
He is a Nigerian musician and political activist.
Well, you can't put it.
I really wanted the Grateful Dead to be on this list.
No, that's not going to happen.
I really wanted it to happen.
That would be definitely on the Rolling Stone list. Now, Nile Rodgers is at 36, and Khaled.
Oh.
Is that DJ Khaled?
No, that's Khaled, the R&B singer. He's an R&B singer.
Of course.
Newer.
Very important.
Fantastic.
And I will let you know this finally. There's no more to pronounce, but I will let you know if you were wondering where Killer Mike was.
Oh.
He's the 17th most important artist.
He's
of the
way
last
more
40
important
years.
than A Tribe Called Quest, Run DMC, and Tupac.
Yeah, Run DMC, whose Raising Hell album was not at all
influential
or an outlier or the beginning of something.
Right.
Killer Mike's
far more important.
Yeah. I'm not even positive I like Killer Mike. I know I'm supposed to, but I really don't. I don't like Run the Jewels that much, and I like LP, but I don't like I don't like Run the Jewels.
How do you put and I have no problem with Pearl Jam, but how do you put them on there ahead of REM?
Who's not on there at all?
Right. Ahead of, on, but
Tracy Chapman, of course. You would have to move her down a few, and I can't take that.
Got to make room for Chris Whitley too.
I heard someone being memorialized. I guess someone in the record industry had died or something. I hope I don't get this wrong. I assume they died because they were talking about him, and they were talking about how one of the crown jewels is they were the ones who signed Tracy Chapman. And I went, well, are you the one who signed Swing Out Sister too? Because they had a better hit. Like, you signed someone with a hit. Great. Where's the Susan Vega memorial for the person that signed her? By the way, totally, this is something I shouldn't even say on air because it's going to be very offensive. No, it's just something that I would mention to you off air. I'm getting into these top 100 songs videos that people put together on YouTube of like the top 100 songs of a particular year. Is anyone at all informed on how they come up with that list? Because there are songs that were at number one that rank far below and for more weeks than songs that were on the chart for less and charted at a lower position. Is anyone aware of how that works?
Show me some after the show and I will.
Because these are the actual Billboard list.
Interesting.
And it's not my knowledge of the songs, whether I do or not, but it's like there will be a song that was number one for like 3 weeks, but like Take Down You're Busted by Glenn Frey will be like 20 above it. And you're like, I don't know. What is this based on?
They might be catching it on a week where that song was up or down or whatever.
No, it's for the year.
Oh, for the year.
Yeah, okay. Like if it was just a week, I would just kind of do whatever. But and then it shows where it peaked and then how long it was on the charts, and it doesn't seem in any way related to where they rank in the year-end rankings.
And Shakedown, by the way, was a misstep from Bob Seger.
Of course.
Glenn Frey did The Heat Is On.
And he also did Smuggler's Blues.
I don't know that one. I just know.
That's Miami Vice.
Yeah, bump back with Smuggler's Blues. Because you'll love it.
Shakedown, Takedown, You're Busted, and The Heat Is On. Those are both Eddie Murphy ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Beverly Hills They had to throw some nice Vanilla White music over. Right. He was very black.
I see.
We had to even out the blackness. I bet you if you asked Eddie Murphy, that's why they did it too. They like find the whitest guy you can. I got a guy from the Eagles. Pop him on this thing. Let's see how things out. Let's Oreo up this thing.
Same reason why we're going to put Louis Anderson in Coming to America.
Exactly. Put the fat white kid in it. Get some attention off John Amos. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
More touch. best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right. The email bit has itself a new sponsor.
Whoa.
The Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. You call all sevens. Now, what is this referring to? Well, Hardy's referring to the phone number. There's very many sevens in it. Call Jeffrey Glassman at 617-777-7777. That's a lot of
That's
sevens.
easy to remember.
Except for 6-1. It's all sevens.
Yeah.
6-1, followed by a succession of 8 sevens.
Just dial 617, then just start hitting 7 until the phone rings.
Have a stroke for all I care.
Yeah.
Put a pencil on your head and have a stroke.
But do it at work.
Right. That's on them, Jack. Or visit gottagetglassman.com. All right. That's very exciting. Mike has something to say. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, guys. Also, since the email segment, Hardy, I hope you got the email I sent you last night about the video game. I don't want to ruin it in case you talk about it on the air. But, it's a Hardy-esque video game. But I want to rant about Adam and how he knows everything. Like, he knows what the list that you are watching, the videos of songs, what they're thinking, and why the list is the list that it is. You don't know Adam. Excuse me, I almost yelled at Hardy. You don't know Adam. You always know everything, especially about music. Ugh, is all I can say.
Wow. Thank you, Jimmy Norton. Well, I mean, I knew about that list because I researched it and made sure we had the pronunciations right, because that's how you got to do the bit.
Yeah, in fairness, I gave Adam that list, and I told him, I'm like, do you know these 4 guys? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to ask him even just to spell them.
Right.
Because, did you know I was telling Hardy this, social media use peaked in 2022. That it's going down 10% a year.
Oh, that's encouraging.
And I thought about it, and I talked to Hardy about it. Is this not represented, and I'm not joking at all, in the boom guys? Like, isn't that the fall of the Roman Empire? Like, if that is the kid and the father, and then occasionally the wife and the daughter, who are cosplaying as an Italian family from New Jersey, even though they are Jewish and in Florida.
And he sells mortgages, right? Isn't that his job?
Who knows? Their house isn't very impressive, I can tell you that. But the fact that I know all of this, that's got again, television was this thing, and it was beamed into homes, but at some point someone had to make the honeymooners, right? Like at some point, Walter Cronkite got on the air. Like at some point they figured it out. Like I've seen MySpace go away. No one's on Facebook anymore. I'm telling you.
Let me share with you one thing that I just looked up, because I was wondering why 2022. Why did it peak then? Do you know what deal got finalized in October of 2022?
Musk of Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I used to spend a ton of time on Twitter, and I would post stuff, and I would do, and I mean, I still do, but not nearly the amount of time, because it's a bit of a wasteland.
Before Musk, Twitter never really had the reach or generated, obviously, the revenue that, Facebook and Meta and all those platforms did. But it was that was where you went for big events. Award shows, big sporting events.
Yes.
They would see huge spikes in traffic on Twitter, and that would kind of justify their existence. But now, not so much.
Now, look, the date of it is certainly interesting, but I have I've been talking about this with people. Look, I have my own human problems that I shouldn't be on Twitter. Musk was not the turning point for me. It's like anything else. When something first comes out, there are certain people far more clever than I that kind of figure it out and learn to work it. And even Dane Cook on MySpace figured it out, right? But his thing was he was a stand-up comic, so he used MySpace to further his stand-up career, which people enjoyed, and he played arenas, right? Whatever you think of Dane Cook, that was the thing. His thing wasn't, I'm going to be on MySpace, right? So when Twitter first came out, there were some comedians that figured it out, like Neil Hamburger, Dad Boner, like these things I consistently mention. like they kind of figured it out in kind of formatted their skills in their material into that format. Then there's everyone else, including myself. I'm no better. And then when everyone else gets on it, they're idiots. And they're yeah, that's me on Twitter. I admit it. I'm not putting myself above anyone else. I'm not Mike Burns. I'm not Dad Boner. I don't need to be on Twitter. You don't need to be on Twitter. Nothing you're doing on there is of interest to anyone. All you're doing, and then it just turns into the only way I can get a reaction is if I'm negative. And so you go, okay, great. So you're negative, but then you're not as negative as me. Well, you're not, that's a guy. And then you out negative each other. And then it just becomes laborious. And I find it very difficult to believe that there's that many people that are into that. If you're screaming at Twitter all day, how many people want to read what these people have to say? And then you can be anonymous, which is another thing you don't have to put your name on it, which you've had to figure was going to have a shelf life. Am I right or am I wrong? If it's just watching an egg scream about other eggs,
yeah.
I mean, who cares? It's just it very well could be a robot, for all I know. So I am off Twitter for my own reasons, but I am off Twitter, and I swear to God, I swear to you, there's never been a time where I went, ooh, I got to know what's being said about this. Like, if I'm watching a game, I'm not like, ooh, like, what's Adam Schefter saying about this game? Like, I'm fine.
The only time I use it, like, during a game is if there's something that happens I don't understand, and there's still people that I follow that will explain what happened before the announcers get around to it, because I don't want to wait 2 minutes during the commercial. And sometimes they don't explain it at all.
Fair enough. I can live with that.
I hate the not knowing.
See, but oftentimes you're going to get information, no information at all, or terrible information, or a lot of very unfunny commentary.
I'd rather have bad information than no information.
I understand.
You and everyone else.
From
how about Congress, right?
For my purposes, we needed it that. We needed We needed Twitter that one day when Marco Sturm was hired as head coach.
You need to be Twitter. You need to be on Twitter.
Well,
you
it's a news gathering information.
You need to be on Twitter during the show.
Yes.
You don't really need to be on Twitter when you're not on the show.
Correct.
That's right.
It's just everything I do on Twitter is show related. There's no other reason to be on there for me. That's true.
Have you ever posted something personal on Twitter, John?
Back when it first started, probably, yeah.
Well, that was a theory, is that when Facebook first started, it was interesting because you could look up all your old girlfriends and stuff, and you were seeing pictures. This is kind of interesting, in my opinion. You were seeing your friends. Like, Facebook was your friends. The algorithm, you gave him a sly look like this isn't going to be interesting.
No. I'm looking at Hardy smiling, which means he's now on my Twitter page and going back.
I want to adventure through this, but let me finish my thought. So you were seeing your friends. Now you're being fed an algorithm decided by someone else of a bunch of people you don't know, including the boom people. And I very much call into question, as bad as 227 was, it wasn't the boom guys. Just take yourself back to 1995. You turn on the TV, and it's the boom guys.
Yeah.
Dressed like Alvin and the Chipmunks with a sped-up boom song that you would go, oh, no, aliens have landed.
Yes.
There was stupid crap on TV, like Urkel changing into a karate expert.
Yeah.
But not the boom people.
Exactly.
The boom people are a real fall of Western civilization thing. I don't know how serious. My son... He knows. He hears it. And all he does all day is send me their videos.
Yes.
How do you see these, Fred? Well, my son.
Yeah,
he looks to actively anger me. All right, go ahead, Hardy. You're looking at John's Twitter page.
Wallach tweets a lot. There's a lot of tweets from Wallach here.
Oh, yeah?
How often a day, would you say?
Well, if it's by day, I mean, if you're asking how often a day, that in itself means a lot.
4 times on January 4th alone. Then you did take a week or two off, but you only have to go back to December of 2025 for a personal non-sports related post from John Wallach.
Kaboom.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
For one day, a positive thought in this place.
Yeah.
and that got 2 comments and 26 likes.
No one listening.
John's got some feelings on the world.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, and no one, you know what? That was a personal, boy, let's all get together and be nice for one day, and no one cared.
And one of the 2 comments says,
it's not interesting. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not interesting.
One of the 2 comments says, love your work, a true broadcast legend, good wishes, and good health in 2026, Waldick.
Yeah.
It's a listener.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Well, when you give a male gives another male a compliment, you have to throw an insult in, because if you don't,
right.
you're teetering on wanting to have sex with the guy. Really,
that's right.
Fred, you were complaining about your broken chair earlier. Justin Cassidy emailed in and said, "I think Fred needs to call the chair company before he gets embarrassed."
Yeah, you have to go through me. I played the husband.
Has anyone checked his LinkedIn page? Is it still up? Does he still have that?
Me and this guy from Tim and Eric in the Dr. Brule show. Check it out. It was a bunch of us went out for drinks after
David
the show.
Liebehart, the guy with the puppets.
Joe emailed
me and
close personal friend of mine.
Me and High Pitch Eric and Elephant Boy went out after the shoot.
Joe emailed us yesterday to say Tanguay has changed his LinkedIn title to Gary Tanguay. Who is Gary Tanguay?
Yeah.
Go on LinkedIn.
Who is he? That's a play.
The title is Evan in the Chair Company. All caps.
Right. No other characters. Remember Evan? Right. Sure. I was Evan. I was the guy that went, right. Who is Gary? New play idea. Follow me. Boy. Hiding under the covers. Rainstorm. Freaked out. Why? Saw a dead body. Boom. Who is Gary?
No,
Judy
I have
Blume.
to apologize about Evan. They asked him if they could dye his hair at the stylist today, and he was too polite to say no.
No. Yeah. You don't need a SAG card for that, baby. I mean, believe me, my lawyers checked it out. If you make a verbal noise not associated with any language, you're not on the hook.
If your one line or one word in this case is stepped on, then they don't have to pay you the full scale.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, honey, back off. Let me exhale. Now, Tim, this doesn't work unless I get this out uninterrupted, right? Because I'm exasperated. This broad's talking about dyeing my hair, and I'm like, hello. Right?
Oh.
Right. What do I do with my eyes? Am I rolling them here, or am I Googling them out? What am I doing? Give me a catchphrase. J.J. Evans it. What if I put a hat on, do the whole 9? I'm painting. Got a militant little brother, right? Sure.
You got a fat Bookman-like character that can walk in this scene too? Yeah, make fun of him.
Yeah, but you know what? Tragedy befell him, so everyone bring it down a notch. All right, here we go. Yeah.
We have this one. Riz emailed me earlier, thanking me for the James Garfield 4-episode series that I did not want to watch. You said to watch it was actually good. You already know you're my go-to guy in shows and movies, and once again you picked a good one. It's actually good. I can't complain at all.
Who's James Garfield?
So he was president for like 3 months, and he didn't even want to be president. You'll learn from watching this thing. But, or did he? Anyway, he gets elected, and very soon into his presidency is assassinated by a man by the name of Guiteau.
Oh, I thought it was by a rogue lasagna maker. Was it on a Monday? What did that buffoon dog think of the whole situation?
Odie?
Was there a cute little kitten soaking up all the attention? Normal?
Normal.
Listen, Jim Davis has got his hands in a lot of stuff. This whole QAnon thing.
He's been busy.
That's right.
Him and the guy from Dilbert, very busy.
Well, the guy from Dilbert got very political and kind of sabotaged his career a little bit, and then got very angry about that. That's the best kind of anger, which is going to happen. If someone's got a lot of money and a lot of reach, and you try to take that away from them, you understand that their reaction is going to get to triple down on the thing. I mean, I really don't blame the guy from Dilbert's reaction. He feels like he was wronged. And quite honestly, I never read Dilbert. People think I have a tattoo of Dilbert, which immediately knows we'll never be friends. Because I got the sentence tattoo, which I don't expect people to know.
Oh, right. Just 2 days ago, Scott Adams, creator of Dilbert, says he is going to convert to Christianity.
Yeah, that's a big Rogan thing now. Rogan's a big converting to Christianity guy, too.
This is terrible. I didn't know this. He has a fatal prostate cancer diagnosis, and many of his Christian friends and followers have urged him to accept Christ while he still has time.
Whatever brings you solace, my friend.
Yeah.
Walk with him, and then look at the footsteps. You think that they're only yours, but you've been being carried all along. Or something along those lines. You get it.
Footprints in the sand.
Footprints in the sand. Right. Footprints in the sand. Oh. Footprints in the sand. Oh. Elephant boy. And underdog lady. Footprints in the sand. Who's carrying who? Me or the underdog lady? The longer he doesn't do the show.
Come see this weekend with Bigfoot and Hank.
R.I.P. But he freed up the Northeast for me. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
You don't know Adam. Ugh.
Essentials.
just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports. Hey, listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what do we have today for the people?
We have from Mike Reese, as shared by John Wallach last night when he wasn't tweeting about positive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
That was only that once on Christmas Day. That Ron Torbert, number 62 in your officials program, having just turned 62 on January 1st, much like
Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton,
gets the referee assignment for the Sunday Patriots-Chargers playoff game. Torbert, Harvard Law graduate, has been officiating in the NFL.
What a
since
waste of a
2010.
degree. Jesus.
Well, that's not all they do.
No, I know, but it's just like you did all that work and spent all that money so you could go spend a lot of your time officiating NFL games?
Yeah, that's cool. It's a cool side gig.
No, it seems like the worst side gig. It seems like something that no one with a brain in their head would want to do. What is the appeal of being an NFL official?
You get a whistle.
Yeah, exactly. That's
to wear cool clothes.
A dimwit would want to play with a whistle.
But they're really loud. It's not a normal whistle.
I never talked to a referee, not like a kid's referee. Or like a high school referee. I've never talked to like a real referee. I could see wanting to be an umpire more than a referee.
A buddy of mine in Albuquerque, he was a cop by day, and I think he had a reputation as being one of those tough cops. You know, work in the bad neighborhoods, so to speak. He would moonlight as a hockey ref for the Western Professional Hockey League.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the games between the New Mexico Scorpions and stuff like that. But, I mean, the fights in these games, because the best way to get called up to the IHL was to show that you could be an enforcer.
And more than that, the best way to get people to come to the games was by having fights.
Right. So he would have to get in the middle of these fights. And there was one that was so bad, it spilled out outside of the rink, kind of went into the stands a little bit. This was at Tingley Coliseum where they had rodeos. So you weren't right up against the glass in these seats, but they came off the ice, and then people started jumping down from the stands to fight these lunatics who were on the ice playing minor league hockey in the first place. And Al was in the middle of that, and many others. He was not to be messed with. But Wallach, what did your buddy who follows these things tell you about the referee for Sunday night?
His quick glance at it, and I haven't called back, but the one thing he said was bet the under. Torbert's crew, usually you make money if you bet the under.
Right. Does that mean he's overly officious? Or I don't know, because that could break either way.
Yeah, apparently during the regular season last year, they called a lot of penalties, but when we got to the playoffs, I think he was the ref for the Super Bowl last year. He kept the flags in their pocket.
So the less penalties, the lower the score is what they're saying?
This is what he was saying to me.
I
don't know if that's
I'm legitimately asking.
No,
I'm not leading you anywhere.
I don't have an answer for you. I don't know.
Yeah, like gambling, it really bores me. It's too much. Like, all right,
we can ask Kendra. Maybe she'll know.
Also, Henry McKenna in Fox Sports has he's predicted every game. He has the Patriots winning 17-7 on Sunday, beating the Texans in the divisional round 13-9, and losing to the Bills in the conference championship 27-14.
Well, hot dog, there's two big ones on the way.
It's got the Rams beating Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Everyone has the Rams winning the Super Bowl. 99% of prognostications seem to have the Rams winning the Super Bowl in some machination, usually playing the Texans. So Texans or Bills, but always the Rams. You're seeing the same thing, right?
Yes.
Very Rams heavy.
A lot of it. No Seattle.
Not a lot of respect
Denver,
for Seattle.
Yeah.
Good. More JB Long for us.
That would be good.
Oh, yeah, the guy the corny dude that calls the games. All right, there you go. Wish me luck, because if this gets any worse, I'm making you all sick, because I ain't calling in. I'm just coming in and
Don't do that.
Yeah, that'd be gross.
I'm good. Touching you.
Ugh.
Don't worry about it. Everything's going on. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone, enjoy your day. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Have you tried Good Stuff Smokehouse, New England's premier #1 barbecue destination? Well, I can tell you their barbecue is the best in the state, but now they've